And I think we're live. Hello to everybody that's already here. And hello to people that watch this later for whatever reason, watching a Thursday night watch along stream in the future for a game that's likely already happened by the time you see this. Let me get the link together so I could tweet this out. Ooh, we already got a lot of people in here. Sup, James? Sup, Waffle? Be more? How you doing? How you doing? See Jaws here, Alex here. Never speak of my Titans. I love me some Kevin Byard, though. I could talk about Kevin Byard, right? So I'm arranging all my monitors here so I can somewhat have my shit together tonight. Still not entirely sure. Like, if I keep it in a tiny little window, I wonder if I'll get like suspended. Probably, right? I'll probably just have to keep up box score or whatever while I do this. I'm assuming. I don't know. I want to be safe about it. It would be nice to be able to show like the actual game in real time other than just the pregame show. But I'd probably have to get, how do they word it, written consent from the National Football League. Hi, Kara. Hello, Asan. And man, we got a lot of people in here. Will you make a video about Odell and the Rams? I'm already making a Rams video, but it's on Von Miller. So like maybe I can kind of roll them in together. I didn't honestly, I didn't really expect the last week to happen the way it did. If Von played last week, this week's episode actually would have been on the Rams, but he didn't play. So I did it on Cowboys instead, and them getting their shit kicked in versus Denver. That's coming out tomorrow morning, by the way. I think at 8 West Coast time, 11 East Coast time, I think is when I'm putting it out. So that should entertain you on your Friday going into the weekend. Everything happened this week. Yeah, you remember Urban Meyer getting caught with a woman who wasn't his wife? That seems like a lifetime ago, and it was like 4 weeks. The NFL continues to be the best reality show in the country. I actually know Zach really well. And I've talked to Marcus a couple times, but Zach, I was actually just texting with him earlier today. He's having a blast out in Hawaii. So it's his lifelong dream to live in Hawaii. So he moved out there and he kept doing the show from there because it's YouTube. You can do that from anywhere. Living his best life. I'm happy for him. He's a good dude. I like Zach. I like his dad too. His dad's a food critic. And so we like message back and forth. We follow each other on Instagram. Or I follow his dad and his dad follows me because his dad's always posting good food and shit. It's a good family. Got our first super chat. Thank you, Just Vibin. Is it bad that at this point I don't even watch Vikings games? I just have them on in the background and I glance occasionally. It's probably good for your mental health, not gonna lie. I mean, Bulldog, your fellow Vikings fans in here. I was just on his podcast last week. There's actually a few people that asked me to come on podcast. Fuck, I gotta respond to them. I'm gonna get that film room out and then I'm gonna move my grandfather's bed tomorrow and then probably sit down and do a whole bunch of DMs and get back to the smaller podcast that asked me to come on. I've been slacking. But anyway, so I was on Bulldog's podcast last week and we're talking Vikings. And I think he DM'd me after the game this week and he's like, yeah, I'm over it. I think a lot of Vikings fans are over it right now because they just find new and creative ways to lose football games. I mean, they were up, by 14 in this one? And they still found a way to piss it away. It's just insane. And they lose a different way every single time, too. Like, that's what's crazy about the Vikings is, like, they don't lose the same way twice. They just find new and creative ways to screw up. It's the weirdest thing. I kind of feel bad for Zimmer because, like, it's not always his fault and he's trying, but it's cursed franchise, man. I swear to God, it's a cursed like they don't have just one issue to point to where it could be like, yeah, that sucks, fix that, and they're going to be good. Like it's a new thing every week. I don't know. I always laugh when you mention deadlines in your videos, knowing it's already late. To be fair, this one would have been on time this week, but I had some stuff come up in my family this week, so this necessitated it being late for a day. Hence why I'm helping my grandfather move tomorrow and putting it out on Friday. Shit happens, but I was actually on time. Like I stopped traveling because I went to Vegas, I went to Arizona, I went to Seattle, I went to Cleveland. I'm going back to Vegas pretty soon. And like all that travel like put me behind on videos and stuff like that. So I stopped traveling and all of a sudden I was able to get stuff out at a reasonable time this week. So it's funny how that happens. Brett, what NBA team are you rooting for? I'm a Lakers fan. And I know people are going to say, oh, you're a bandwagon Lakers fan. Not true, because I cut highlights for the team. I worked at Time Warner Sports Network that later became Spectrum Sportsnet. And I watched every single game that the Lakers played in like that pocket of really, really shitty seasons towards the end of Kobe's career. I cut all their highlights. God, who was let's see. James Worthy was I worked with him like almost every day when I came in. He's a great guy, by the way. Who else was there? I never got to meet Kobe because he whenever he came in, it just happened to be on days that I didn't work, which is like one of the greatest regrets of my life is that I didn't get to meet Kobe. But I met Magic. Worthy was obviously one of our analysts. God, a lot of the old Showtime Lakers I got to meet while I was there, but they're all wonderful. Didn't get to meet Kareem. That one also stung. I never got to meet Kareem while I was there. But yeah, so I became a Lakers fan reluctantly while watching the team be terrible. And then right when I left the network is when they started getting good again, which is annoying. But actually one of my greatest sports memories is I cut the highlight for Kobe's last game, the 60-point game, where he was going off, and I was sitting in the newsroom while we were cutting that highlight, and like the whole building was just losing its fucking mind. Like I watched grown men cry that day. That's the effect that Kobe had on LA. But not to get too off on a tangent. It was actually weird. The day that Kobe died was the day that I flew back from the Senior Bowl that year, and the news broke as I was walking through LAX. And that was another time that I saw like grown men like break down in public over Kobe. Like completely understandable. I mean, fuck, like I almost cried. I love Kobe. But walking through LAX as that news broke and you could see people literally walk up to strangers and just show each other their phones, like that was surreal. One of the weirdest experiences of my life. Let's catch up on these super chats. Bateman, Ayuk, or DPJ? Ayuk, I'm pretty sure is going to draw Ramsey this week, since Ayuk lines up mostly on the backside when they do all that 3x1 stuff. And that's usually Ramsey's spot. So I feel like it's going to be Ramsey versus Ayuk, and they're just going to sacrifice him to Jalen, and they're going to feed the ball to Kittle and Debo. So I'm not going to play Ayuk this week. Do I want to play Bateman or DPJ? That's a good question. Who do the Browns play again? Let me double check. Literally can't remember who they play. Oh, Patriots. Ooh. Oh, man. I might go Bateman there, man. I think I'll go Bateman. I don't like the matchup for Ayuk, and I don't really like it for DPJ either. Like DPJ's the guy there now, but yeah, I don't know, because I feel like the Patriots are going to do the same thing they did to the Rams, and that they basically do to any wide zone team these days, where they play that tilt forefront, where they do like 6 on line scrimmage and then 1 linebacker, and they just completely stuff the run and then dare you to beat them with the pass. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel good about DPJ. That like he could very easily make me look stupid and break off a couple big balls, but like matchup wise, I'm gonna go Bateman. Don't feel great, but I'm gonna go Bateman. GMC has trucks that have autopilot. I'm pretty sure people that know more about cars can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that Tesla made their autopilot software like 5 or 6 years ago available for other car companies to work with, and so they all kind of took that and then kind of built their own versions of it. If I remember correctly, that's how that happened. So like a lot of car companies are going to have autopilot within the next 3 years, I have to imagine, as they all kind of refine their own based on Tesla technology. Or maybe it was battery technology that they made public. Now I can't remember. I retract my statement because I might be wrong. But yeah, autopilot's going to be a normal thing. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw that new Tesla. Holy shit. Does 0 to 60 in like 2.2 seconds or something ridiculous like that. And it's 0 to 100, or it's 60 to 100 beats a McLaren in a quarter mile, which is nuts. It's like, I don't even know how it's legal. Thank you, Kyle, for the $2. Appreciate that. Vegas was crazy. Yes, it was. I don't know how many people watched the Vegas video that is put out. Was it last week? I think it was last week. Again, time moves slow in the NFL. Kind of like my first like straight up vlog style content, but I really enjoyed making it. Originally, I was going to put it out a while ago, and then stuff just kept happening with the Raiders. And at one point, I got to a point where I was like, I just, it's like already week 8. It's like, I got to put it out, And then the Damon Arnett thing happened like a day later. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't win. Which, I mean, the video is more like representative of the city and like the fan experience, not necessarily like the team. But every time I tried to fucking release that thing for like a solid 6 weeks period, something was happening with a Raiders player. And I'm like, can you guys stop doing crimes for like a day? Whatever. I'm not bitter. At least I went to a good cause. Was able to donate to charity with all that money I won in the parlay for Trevor Project. Shout out to Trevor Project. But God, I was so fucking frustrated when the Arnett news broke like the next day after I released that. And I was like, come on, guys. Josh Winslow for $5. Streaming the game will probably get the stream nuked and possibly a channel strike. Even the pregame is probably a dangerous game. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'll put on something else. I need to like talk to the NFL because I wasn't going to show the game, but even pregame. Like, can I just be like an alternate broadcast, like the Manning cast, but just for me? Let's see, where the fuck is my other window that I was going to put up? Ah, there we go. Boom. All right, I'm just going to have this up during the game so you can see relatively as the game's going on where I'm at in the broadcast. And I'll do some like sync ups for snaps and stuff like that. Yeah, it's more of a casual, just chatting stream as we watch the game. Dude, you met Kareem at a Costco? Fuck, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Which is, it's funny. He's like always around town. And like, I've been there several times, and like, I know friends that just randomly ran into him on the street. And I was like, I never get to meet cool people on the street like that. Would you start Ayuk, Lockett, or Bateman in PPR? I'd probably do Lockett. Ooh, man, you're starting Waddle tonight? Oh, that's the one that I'm not sure of. Because Fuller's out, Devonta Parker's out. I kind of feel like Waddle's just going to get bracket treatment because he mostly lines up in the slot where it's super easy to just do vice calls all day and bracket him. And then you take your chances with, God, who are their other receivers? I mean, the only other threat that I can really think that they would be afraid of is Gesicki. But if you're forcing Brissett to throw to Gesicki all day, you're still probably making a profit. Like, if anything, like if I'm Wink, my game plan is don't let Waddle beat us, blitz the shit out of Jacoby Brissett. Like, you just play cover one double, or you run like some sort of fire zone if you really want to get pressure. But like, that's my game plan, is like, just don't let Waddle beat us and blitz the shit out of him. I think that's what they're gonna do. I don't know. I don't like Waddle this week. I'd probably do McLaurin, Bateman, Lockett. Final answer. Which of course means Waddle's gonna go off tonight, but matchup wise, I don't feel good about it. Vikash, thank you for the $2. Why isn't the Minka hit on Fields not a shot of the week? I was helmet to helmet. And usually if something's kind of gray area, helmet to helmet type stuff, we don't nominate it for shot of the week. Like the Troy Reader hit, it was more vicious, but it also wasn't to the head or neck area. So we felt good about nominating that one. But usually we don't nominate anything that's helmet to helmet, which you can say incidental. It's fine. But yeah, usually anything like that we don't nominate. Sean Taco for $5. What do you think of the Cam signing? I want my Panthers to be good again. I think the Cam signing is fine. Darnold just did not, after the first 3 weeks, he just completely fell off a cliff and just did not look good at all. The weapons are there. I like Moore. Obviously, I like Christian if he's healthy. I like Terrace Marshall. Robbie Anderson's probably more happy than anybody else because he'll stop getting hospital balls thrown his way. Oh, I love this guy, Generald Wilson. I've been watching this dude sing anthems for like 10 years now. No, more than that, actually. He's a retired officer from the Navy, if I remember correctly. He's got a great voice. God, I wish I could stream this. He's like the GOAT at anthems. But yeah, no, I think it's okay. I'm curious to see what he looks like because like he looked good in the beginning of last year and then he got COVID and didn't look good. And so I would be curious to see how he looks now, a full year removed from COVID with better weapons than he had in New England. A worse offensive line though. So that's kind of a balancing act. Like the Panthers offensive line is not good at all, but they do have weapons. Overall, I'm kind of lukewarm on it. I think it's better than PJ Walker, and he's probably better than Darnold. But do I think it's going to like save their season? I don't know about that. We'll see. Autumn, what's up, Autumn? Fields QB1 honestly feels good. Your draft take. I mean, you could argue that Max played the best out of all the rookies, but Fields has had the most explosive flashes. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is starting to come around. Looked a little rough early in the year, but it's starting to come around. Wilson's obviously been hurt. And then who's the other? And then Trey Lance, we haven't even seen him take a snap since week 5, so it's not even fair to compare him. But out of all of them, I'd say that Mac's been the most consistent. Fields has shown the most upside. Lawrence has shown the most steady growth as the season's gone on. And Wilson, if he can stay healthy, I think he's shown some explosive upside as well, but he's also shown the most, I think, errors out of all of them. I think his development's been a little bit rough compared to the rest. I'm not ready to declare any of them being like greatness. I'm not ready to declare any of them being busts. It's still way too early for that. I would say Max probably exceeded expectations a little bit, but that's a good thing for the Patriots. Brett, you are the reason why I'm learning football. Thank you for all the content you put on this channel. Well, I'm happy to oblige, happy to teach, happy that you guys find some entertainment in it. That makes me feel good, makes me feel like all this is worth it a little bit. So happy to hear that, and you're very welcome. Thank you for watching. Spence for $5. With the vid coming out tomorrow, will it make Dallas play insanely good, or is Denver going to be trash now? Yes. Yes. I mean, probably both, right? That's just how it works. Because like this thing is like I'll explain it more in the video tomorrow. But like Denver didn't do anything fancy; they just played man coverage. Like that was it. They just played man coverage and they plastered the receivers, and nobody could separate. And Jonathan Cooper beat the shit out of Terrence Steele. And then Dak made some really bad decisions. Like it was like the most simple film room ever. Like I was expecting something exotic. No, they just played man coverage and just said fuck you and beat the Cowboys. That was it. That was all they did. It was a fun game to watch though. Teslas are ugly. Changed my mind. Which Tesla? Cybertruck. I agree. The spider. The spider. I actually really like the spider. It kind of reminds me of a Lotus, to be honest. Which I've always liked. Like I can't fit in a Lotus because they're the smallest car ever. But like aesthetically, it kind of reminds me of that. But obviously a lot faster. I think it depends on which Tesla. The sedan, the oh shit, I can't remember the P85. Is that what they call it? I think it's an average looking sedan, but I don't necessarily think it's ugly. But yeah, the Cybertruck's terrible. Cybertruck is awful. Like honestly, if you're gonna get an electric truck, just get the F-150 Lightning. That thing's a monster. Aren't you going to get banned for streaming? Oh, that was 10 minutes ago. Wow, I'm way behind on chat. Holy shit. Also, I love your support for Trevor Project. I don't thank me. Thank Trevor Project. Like they're the ones that do all the good work. They're the good people. They're one of my favorite charities. I love them. But I appreciate that, Autumn. The media just keep disrespecting the Titans. I mean, I guess I count in that because, like, I acknowledge that they've gotten a lot of great wins, but man, the offense just worries me so much without Henry. The offensive line did not play well against the Rams. They got blown up repeatedly. They could not throw the ball deep. Their defense played out of their mind. I love their defensive line. They had a combined, 16, 17 pressures just among Harold Landry, Danico Autry, and Jeffrey Simmons, which is nuts. Kevin Byard's an elite safety. Like, it's a great defense. But the offense just scares the crap out of me without Derrick Henry. And if they get him back in January, which who knows if they will, Jones fractures can be really finicky. If they get him back in January and Lawan comes back, I'm all in. Like they're a great team. But without, and obviously Julio needs to be healthy too. But without Henry and without a functioning offensive line, I get really nervous about their ceiling as a Super Bowl team. They've survived, they've scrapped, they clawed. Man, I got nervous about it. All right, Ravens are going to take their first snap now. Let's see, 1st and 10 after a touchback. What are they in? 12 personnel? Nah, it's more like 21, but they just like to use their fullback as a tight end. And Devonta Freeman gets carried for 4 on no, that wasn't a wind back. That was just a split zone. You're going to see a lot of Devonta Freeman tonight, I imagine. Like, I think their game plan is we're going to run for 40 times. So my stream's a little bit behind. Let's see. I think we're about to see a Devin Duvernay run for 19 yards. Yeah, my stream's probably about 2 minutes behind. Oh, great block. Who's 17? Who's 17 for the Ravens? That was a hell of a block. You guys see that? Let me look that up. Oh, that's Le'Veon Bell. How about it? Watch this. Get to the outside shoulder, hands in the chest, crank him back inside. That was a great block by Le'Veon Bell. Love it. Love it. All right, 1st and 10 from midfield. Lamar just taking to see. Is that Marquise? No, it's Bateman. First catch of the day. Taking a little curl versus off cover. By the way, I have Bateman going in my pick'em on underdog tonight. You guys know me. I do these underdog pick'ems every single game, or every single game day, I should say. So just to recap what I got. Let me switch here. Let me eliminate that banner. There we go. So I got Myles Gaskin over 69.5 total rushing plus receiving. Lamar over 69.5 rushing, because the Dolphins' rushing defense is not very good at all, especially in the second level. They don't really have a lot of team speed there. So I think Lamar's going to eat as a runner. And then I got Bateman over 40.5 receiving yards. He's already got 7. Freeman over 48.5 rushing yards, which is insane, by the way, that it was only 48.5. I should DM the folks at Underdog that I work with and be like, who sets the line? Because what the hell, guys? Like, that was easy money for me. And now he's got 20 now. So we're 2 carries into the game, and Freeman's halfway to the over. And then Gesicki over 4.5 receptions. So clearly there's a theme here, which is I think Baltimore's going to run the hell out of the ball, and Miami's going to have to catch up here. Here's another carry for Freeman. So I put $100 on this. Payout is 20-1. So it's a $2,000 payout if I hit on this by the end of the game. We'll see if I do. But I do these underdog pick'ems for every single game, or every single game day. Which, by the way, if you're interested in doing pick'ems yourself, if you use promo code Brett on deposit at Underdog, they will match your deposit up to $100. So all you have to do is put in five lines for a pick'em, treat it like a parlay, and it's a 20-1 payout. So if you deposit $100 and you get another 100, not saying you have to deposit 100, I'm just saying that's the limit. But if you deposit 100 and then use that free 100 on a pick'em, you could potentially turn it into 2,000 if you hit on all 5. So again, that's promo code Brett at Underdog Fantasy. If you're so inclined and want to do pick'ems like me, because you're degenerate like me. Let's get back to the game here. Major fan of your videos. Appreciate such great content. Well, I appreciate you watching. Never disappoint with a video. Oh, I don't know. Chargers fans would disagree with that. Go Washington. 2nd and 9 here for the Ravens. From the pistol. Lamar again. Hitting that curl. Versus bail technique. It's going to be there all night. It's going to be there all night. Easy side adjust for those receivers. If they bail, stop at 12 yards, come back to the ball, Lamar's going to hit you every single time. Brings up 3rd and 4 here. Where did the Rams land on your ideal list of ideal suitors for OBJ? I thought they were right at the top considering the system. He already played the same role in Cleveland. It's just now he's going to have a better quarterback throwing to him. This is nothing against Baker. Like, I like Baker, but Stafford's just a better quarterback, especially when it comes to deep balls. I think they'll use him better within that role, or rather help him be more productive in that role. Like him and Green Bay and Rams were like top of my list. because they run very similar systems to what Cleveland runs, and he would play a very familiar role. So it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Let me see if I can catch up here. Kronos McD for $5. Thank you, bud. Knowing how he turned out, what round should Ryan Fitzpatrick have been drafted? I mean, first round pick if you're a quarterback that lasts this long in the league. You know how many quarterbacks that get picked in the first round that don't last 3 years? Like, knowing what we know now, Ryan Fitzpatrick would have been a first round pick. Easy. Like, quarterbacks that last this long and get this many starting jobs because they're a good football player. Oh, so close to a Sammy Watkins touchdown there on 3rd and 9. Unfortunately, drive stalls out. Pressure got to Lamar. Was that 0? 1, 2, 3. I think they only brought 6, but Javon Holland was free off the edge on a 2v1. Tackle had to take the inside threat, so Holland came unblocked. It seemed like Lamar knew he was going to come unblocked, though, so he just wanted to punish it deep and just miss the throw. That's the thing, is when you're bringing those overload pressures where you know you can't block it up, you have 3 ways to get out of it. You can either adjust your protection, bring in a receiver as an extra blocker if you want to, but some offenses don't like to sacrifice receivers, and you could take a shot deep. You can throw hot off the pressure, which can sometimes get you into a little bit of trouble if they don't bring that pressure, and then your eyes get a little bit frozen, and then you kind of have to go back to reading the play like normal. Some quarterbacks aren't comfortable with that. Or you can throw a screen, which, again, if they back out of the pressure, sometimes that isn't so great. So what Lamar opted to do is they didn't block it up, but he still wanted to take that deep shot with no safety deep anyway. Almost hit it, but just didn't. We're probably going to see that a little bit more tonight because Miami loves to bring those overload type pressures where there's like nothing you can do to account for all their threats. But anyway, back to Fitzpatrick. Yeah, he would have been a first round pick in hindsight. Kyle Jones for $5. Nuanced talk on Jordan Love. You were harsh on the pod. His play was rough, but young QB needs reps, right? Team building point of view, lots of talent to pay. I get that, but against a not good defense with the supporting structure he has, and it's one thing for, like, yeah, I get young quarterback needs reps. Like, he got reps all in the offseason. Rodgers wasn't there. And he has such a good supporting cast around him and such a good coaching staff. And it's not a very hard matchup against this Kansas City defense. I just think we're in an age these days where we expect more from our young quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks that have basically had a year and a half to prepare for this moment. And I felt like he fell a little bit short of what I was hoping for, or at least what a lot of people were hoping for. Like, again, this is part of my pre-draft bias showing up. I didn't have Jordan Love as a first-round pick. So, again, I'm a little bit biased in terms of my pre-draft grade here. I had him as a day 2 guy. But in this day and age where young quarterbacks are showing up like Mac Jones and playing well immediately, and, you know, Justin Fields in his 7th week of the season, you know, going to Pittsburgh and having a great game with not as good of a supporting cast. Just it's not fair to Jordan Love. I acknowledge it's not fair that we compare him, but it's all we can do is compare him to the other young quarterbacks that have more success earlier on. You know, if he gets another shot this year, you know, God forbid Aaron gets hurt or you know, whatever, I'd like to see if he plays better. But right now, the only sample size we have to go off of is that game. And it just wasn't like terrible, but it wasn't really encouraging, if that makes sense. I'm not writing off his career. It's been one game. I'm not saying he's automatically a bust. But I also don't want to sugarcoat it and say, like, oh, he'll be fine. Because that would also equally be like disingenuous to just assume he's going to be fine. It's like, based on what? Based on what? That game? So it's like, I'm not I'm not saying he's going to be a bust, but I'm also left wanting, if that makes sense. All right, Dolphins just ran the ball on 1st and 10. I think that's Gaskin that got it for 3 on Duo. See if I can catch up here on chat. Cam for $2. Holly, Bateman, and Sammy finally playing together. Actually, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Is this the first time that's happened? I think it is. Wow, I didn't even realize that. It's never happened. That's crazy. Oh, man. Did Waddle just break one? No, that was Wilson. Looked like Waddle. I didn't see the 2 on the back. Nice little tunnel screen on 2nd down. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, man, that was nasty. God, he can move. Just freezing Chuck Clark out there. What a run. All right. Stubby versus 3x1. Oh, no. Oh, God. He somehow almost made that work. Throwing number 1 to the field against match quarters? Oh, no. It was number 2. It was a switch release. Shit. He almost made that work, too. That's usually not a ball you throw. Also interesting that Marlon Humphrey matching up on Gasecki in the slot. That's really interesting. That shows you who they're prioritizing. That's a ballsy throw by Brissett. Almost worked, too. Golly. Good or bad? Buy after 2 straight losses. Usually good, in my opinion. Helps people kind of reset. And, self-scout, figure out what's working, what's not working. Like maybe stop the bleeding a little bit, get some guys back that are unhealthy. Is there an over-under for taunting calls? 3. Oh, God, what a shitty rule. Oh, Brissett just got lit up. Was that only a 4-man rush? No, it was Owe. Odafe Owe got him. Let's see this move. All right. Little TE stunt. Love it. I didn't catch who the tackle was that set the pick on it, but he just completely washed down the entire left side of the offensive line. I like Odafe Owe. He's top 2 among rookies in all pressures, or among all rookies in pressures this year with like 21. Well, obviously now 22. Him and ironically Jalen Phillips, who's on the Dolphins, one of my favorites in the pre-draft, were top 2 among rookies in pressures this year. Freak athlete. I liked him a lot coming out. I mean, who didn't? He was a first-round pick, but like, want to make it known. I like Odafe. Well, let's see. I don't think Jason was his middle name. I think Jason was just a assumed name that he had, which his real name is Odafe. But I remember in the pre-draft process, his name was Jason, and then he got drafted, and he told the media, "No, call me Odafe," which I liked. Like, if that's your name, let's call you by your name. It's like, I'll call you whatever you want, man. Schroeder Iceman for $2. I used to always think you were also set the edge. I get that a lot, man. I was just talking to him too. It's interesting. The audience overlap between me, Set the Edge, and Strong Opinion Sports is like the Venn diagram is a circle. We all share the same audience. It's pretty funny. Sam Gold, Alex Rollins. Let's see, who are the other football creators I talk to on the regular? Talked to Urinating Tree, Perna, that whole crew from the dumpster fire. They're good guys. Yeah, the YouTube NFL community is pretty strong, I would say. Pretty tight-knit group. We all like to talk to each other, share knowledge, share mistakes, help each other not fuck up so much. I don't think Tree's in Pennsylvania. Maybe he is. If he's in Pittsburgh, next time I go out to Heinz, I'll see if he's there. Because I haven't been to Heinz in like 3 years. No, 2 years? 2 years. Craving some pierogi. Jason was his nickname he was using. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was a middle name. I knew it was like an assumed name. Because I guess the Penn State media had trouble pronouncing Odafe for some reason, which, how? It's not that hard of a name. That was Kaleous Campbell setting the pick on the sack. Of course it was. Kaleous Campbell is one of my all-time favorite players. Ooh. A screen off GT counter. That's nifty. Who is that to? Duvernay? I like that. See, I don't think I missed any super chats, but if I did, please let me know. I think I'm keeping caught up pretty decently here. Brett's mad with power on people's comments. We miss you in Pittsburgh. And I miss Pittsburgh. It's a great town, man. It gets kind of a bad rap. I don't know why. The only thing I didn't like about Pittsburgh, Freeman again. Looking vintage like 2016 Devonta Freeman. The only thing I don't like about Pittsburgh is like the city layout makes no fucking sense. Like you can tell this was a city that was designed in like 1740. It makes no sense. And like Google Maps has no idea where you're at any given point. It's just telling you to take random bridges to fucking Ohio. Like Pittsburgh as a city layout is the worst city in America. The people, great. The food, great. The microbrew scene, great. The stadium, great. Driving? No. It's awful. It's awful. And I sit in LA traffic my entire life. I would rather sit in that traffic because at least I know the roads are going to the right state. Like you miss an exit in Pittsburgh, you're driving for 20 more minutes till you can turn around. I don't understand it. I'm going to write a letter to the manager and go Karen on the state of Pennsylvania. There we go. 1st and 10 for the Ravens. Hitting the sit route in the middle. Who is that to? Andrews? Yep. It's to Andrews. Off play action, 6-man pass protection. Let's see, where am I at in underdog here? All right, Freeman's definitely going to hit that over tonight. Still waiting on my first catch from Gesicki. Really want to start seeing Lamar run. Getting a little nervous about that one. All right, pistol, 1st and 10. I think they're across midfield. Yeah, they're on the 37 now. Oh, shifting to full house from the gun. There we go. Again, another 2 yards. Rough. Counterpoint, New Orleans was built in a bucket below a leaky tap. I'm actually going to New Orleans, by the way. For anybody here that lives in New Orleans, I'm going to be out there for New Year's for my wife's birthday because my wife's birthday is January 1st. So we're coming out to New Orleans for New Year's to enjoy the local culture, I guess you could say, which means we're just going to go get lit on Bourbon Street. I don't know if the Saints are playing that weekend in New Orleans. Maybe I'll stop by that game. But I've never been to New Orleans. I've always wanted to go. One of the cocktail capitals of the country. Devonta Freeman is 1,000,000% RB1 now. Oh, yeah. He was 1,000,000% RB1 last week, too, wasn't he? Like, given all their options, I figured that Freeman would have been the guy from a physical skill set perspective at this point in all of their careers. Like, Le'Veon doesn't look the same. Murray is Murray. Like, out of all of them, like, fumble. Who dropped it? Oh, no. All right, Ravens retained it. Who dropped it? Let's see. Hollywood. Yeah, Eric Rowe came in, just pried it out, and then Bateman got it back. God, I love Rashad Bateman. He's just baby Robert Woods to me. And I mean that in like the highest possible complimentary way. He is baby Robert Woods. People thought they were pronouncing Okereke wrong. Or is it? It's Okereke, right? Is it Okereke or Okereke? There was a thing made up. That was like a debate a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember where we landed on that. I think it's Okereke. I'll have to look that up because I honestly can't remember if it's Okereke or Okereke. We just went through this too. I apologize, but I can't remember which one it is. Because I do remember that, like, he said Okereke, but then people were saying, no, it's actually Okereke, but he's saying Okereke because that's how people say it. Like, it's a similar kind of thing where it's like, I guess Travis Kelce's name is Kels, not Kelsey, but everybody calls him Kelsey, so he says Kelsey. I don't know. I'll call people whatever they want me to call them. I don't know. Will you go to SoFi this season? Absolutely, I will. I think I'm going to the Chargers game, which is a primetime game against the Chiefs, which was that next month? I think it is. Either late this month or next month. I think it's a Sunday night game. Might be a Monday night game. Because my wife said she wanted to go to a night game at SoFi because she saw the Rams game on Sunday Night Football. And she's like, wow, SoFi looks pretty fucking cool at night. We should go. And so I said, yes, we should. So we're going to whatever that Chargers primetime game is at SoFi. I'll have to look up the tickets for that. Worst layout. When's the last time you've been to Houston? At least Houston has that like concentric ring of freeways. So you can go around the city if you need to. Like LA doesn't have that. Like if you want to go from one side of downtown to the other, you're going through downtown. That's it. or you're taking Sunset, the terrible drive down Sunset if you want to try to loop around the north from like Santa Monica to WeHo. Or you take the 10 through downtown, or you risk the bullshit diversion you got to do down the 91 or the 105. Trust me, the rings are better. The rings are way better in LA. Houston is just a bunch of highways wearing a trench coat. Oh, Jesus. Let me turn my phone off vibrate since you guys probably hear that. My freaking, what do you call it? The switch that's supposed to turn it from silent to loud stopped working, so it's just stuck on silent forever now, which is kind of annoying. I just got this phone, so it has to live on vibrate. All right. Almost sack on Brissett. Throwaway. It's going to be 2nd and 10 here. Let me see who almost got there. 44. Oh, Marlon Humphrey working off the edge, getting a pressure. How about that? Love a DB that can blitz with physicality. All right, 2nd and 10 for Miami here from their own 38. Jet motion. Little toss play. Oh, yeah, they're not going to get that. Yeah. Oh, that was another play by Humphrey. Replacing on the crack. It's good fundamental football. And then Owe chasing it from behind. He looks like he put on weight since Penn State. He looks heavier. Still fast as shit, though. Fluffy Fox Productions for $7 Canadian. Thank you, sir. Don't have a question right now, but I've been watching you for 3 years, and thanks for consistently breaking down film and elevating our knowledge. You're very welcome, and thank you for watching and making all this possible, making my living possible. I appreciate people like you that have stuck around for that long. Marlon making 3 plays in a row, getting the PBU on Gesicki again. That was the Marlon Humphrey drive. If you got him going in your IDP leagues and fantasy tonight, you're feeling pretty good. But I need some catches for Gesicki for underdog desperately, please. But I appreciate that, Fluffy Fox Productions. I really do. Any plans on having a fan event for the Combine? I'm biased because I live in Indy. If I get to go to the Combine, which I'm still not 100% sure what the media situation, at least independent media situation, is going to be for the Combine, because we're still technically going to be in COVID, and the league has been very cautious about who it lets in anywhere. Like, I couldn't get credentials for any games, any training camps, anything. Like, when I go to games this year, I buy tickets. Like, I couldn't cover it like normal media in a normal season, because, like, unless you are at a major publication, you're not getting credentialed for shit, because they're trying to limit the amount of people that have access to, press boxes and locker rooms and field and everything like that. It's a whole different scenario right now. So if they let me go, I would love to, because I've never been to Indy and I've always wanted to go to Lucas Oil, even though it's cold as shit in February. But we'll see. At the very minimum, I'm going to be in Vegas for the Shrine Bowl late January. And I'm also going to be there for Conference Championship weekend and the Pro Bowl. I'm going to be there for like a 10-day period in Vegas. So if you're anywhere in Nevada, let me know. You know where I'll be. Who's to blame for the Dolphins taking a wide receiver in the top 10 and then using him as a 7-yard average depth of target receiver? Well, that's what he was at Bama. He was a slot receiver, who operated almost exclusively out of the slot. He was great after the catch. He could work the field deep, but do you really expect a team to be chucking it deep a lot with Tua at quarterback? Probably not anyway. Like, what they really needed was a separator in the slot that could get stuff after the catch, like, which is Jalen Waddle. So I felt like he was a good fit for what they wanted / needed for their quarterback skill set. But that being said, maybe in hindsight, the offensive line was so trash that they should have taken Rashawn Slater. And by maybe, I mean absolutely should have taken Rashawn Slater, because Slater's been one of the best left tackles in football this year. And the Miami offensive line is one of the worst in the NFL. They've put a lot of resources into the offensive line over the last few years. None of it's worked out. It's honestly been kind of shocking to me, because, like, I was okay with them taking Waddle, because I was like, well, they just took a left tackle in the first round last year. They invested a bunch of mid-round picks and interior offensive line. Like, I figured somehow with all the receivers they invested, they could cobble together a decent offensive line, but nope. Everybody sucks. Like, at that point, I'd just fire the offensive line coach, because it's like, we've given you how many draft picks to use and you can't build anything. All right, Lamar going deep, and a nice PBU by Javon Holland, who's a pick that I really liked for them, by the way. He's like Devin McCourty 2.0, corner / safety. Looks like he cut the high cross here. Oh, textbook textbook for how you play a high cross from single high coverage. I'm going to have to highlight that play on Twitter or TikTok or something. That's a great play by Javon Holland. Loved him coming out of Oregon, by the way. All right, quasi 4x1 look here. Alert fast 4 to the flat. No, they just use Le'Veon as a blocker. I thought they might try to sneak him out to the flat and run him off with the other 3 receivers, but they just want a little hitch instead. That's right. Justin Tucker did miss that. That didn't even register in my brain that Justin Tucker missed. That's weird. You're right. That is weird. We need to mention that. Zach O'Malley for $5 as we get this 3rd and 5 here. Oh, God. Oh, Lamar just got sandwiched. Jesus. Andrew Van Ginkel got in there. Who else was there? I think my Jalen Phillips was there. Let's see the replay. Yeah, it is Van Ginkel and Phillips. Van Ginkel I like too. He was kind of their Kyle Van Noy replacement in waiting. They've liked him a lot. And then Phillips has been, I think, very encouraging for them. I think they're very satisfied with him as a first-round pick so far. Again, top 2 among rookies in all pressures, so picked up a half a sack there. But Zach O'Malley for $5. Thoughts on playing Stafford, OBJ, and Kupp all in the same fantasy lineup? Yes. I won a fantasy championship stacking, ironically, the Rams offense back in 2018 with Goff, Gurley, and who else did I think I had Woods as well that year. And yeah, if it's an elite offense, get as many pieces of it as you can because they're all going to help each other. OBJ and like people are worried about, oh, it's Kupp's target's going to go down because of OBJ. Like, no. If anything, like it'll help Kupp because you're going to double Odell deep and you're going to let Kupp do whatever he wants to do in the intermediate middle of the field. Like that's how the offense functions, is having a legitimate 3rd level threat that can open up everything underneath. Like they run flood more than anybody else in the league. That's the whole point of flood, is to open up that second throw, which is going to be Cooper Kupp. Now, Kupp won't be used as a deep threat as much, but that's fine with me. I think they're going to help each other. Rack Towner, $5. What's up, bud? What's your favorite September, October, November, December, and January stadiums, assuming they feel different by month? Ooh, that's a good question. September. Let's see, somewhere that's not oppressively hot and humid. So Miami's out. What's like a good September stadium? Probably something more north, like Lambeau, like that pristine late summer weather. I would think up in Wisconsin would be nice. Seattle probably be pretty nice. I mean, I was there in September and it was beautiful. So I'm speaking from experience. I was there week 2 and it was great. Yeah, I would probably say more north the better in September. October, I would kind of want it to be like classic fall, you know? So Foxborough in October, I think would be pretty sick. And then November, I think, is like prime for Vegas because November is like perfect weather in Vegas. That's when everything like is chilling off and you can walk around the strip and not die. And then December, I kind of want snow. I kind of want cold misery in December. So give me Hines, give me Lambeau. Yeah, I would say like Hines, like that kind of like, especially a night game. Ooh, like Soldier Field with that lake effect chill in December. It's just fucking miserable. I want it because that's football weather right there, man. Like you suffer for 3.5 hours, but you're suffering with everybody around you. You become family. And then January, let's see. I think like playoff atmosphere in a a team that hasn't made the playoffs in a while or doesn't like regularly make the playoffs. So the fans, oh, double pass? Nope, Albert Wilson's going to keep it. Like Buffalo in January, because the fans are always like crazy during playoff games because they're still not used to being good yet. So like I want in a January stadium feeling, I want a fan base that like appreciates having a home playoff game, that tailgates their ass off. They're super loud. The stadium's a great atmosphere. That's what I want. So I'll go like Buffalo by default. All right. Let's see. 3rd and 6 here. Too high look for the Ravens. Looks like 2-man. Yeah, it's 2-man. No, it looks like fire zone, actually. I think they brought 5. They might have rolled a safety down. I didn't see the safety because the camera goes into too narrow. But I think they might have brought 5 there, so it's probably fire zone. Either way, incomplete punt. Cam for $5. Imagine the Ravens fully healthy with J.K. Gus, Stanley, Marcus Peters, Joker, and Lamar playing at this level. That's the thing. They're 6-2 with a lot of backups, a lot of like 3rd, 4th stringers. Like they'd probably be undefeated right now if they had a whole squad. It's pretty crazy. Like that's why I think Lamar's front runner for MVP, because they're 6-2 and he's putting up insane numbers. And there's a lot of dudes that are not starters that are around him. Pretty nuts. Like they didn't have Bateman for like the first 7 weeks of the season. And they're 6-2. That's why I love the XFL's media policy. They had no issues allowing independent media in. Zach Schaumler got media credentials for a couple Seattle Dragons games. Yeah, see, they knew how to do it because they knew that people covering the game is good for them. It's free advertising. I'm just trying to make your product more visible. God. Joey Valenza for $5. Still a commercial break, by the way. Hey, Brett, love your content. Appreciate that. Keep up the great work. But I have one question about my Packers. How do you think Joe Barry's scheme is helping the D? I think it's a lot less, call it country zones, where you're just leaving miles of space and defending nothing but grass, and you're not actually matching and sticking to a man. I think they're playing a lot more or a lot tighter this year, I would say, in terms of how they handle zone coverage. I think they're doing a good job of when they are in man situations, they're not necessarily leaving their corners out to dry. So it's not like, oh, we're just going to play cover 1 all day and bring 5 and go man across the board and you have no help inside. Like, no, we're going to play 1 rat instead and you're going to have help inside. So if you get beat by a slant, you have time to recover, or we're going to play 2-man. So you have a deep half safety and you don't have to worry about getting roasted deep down the field, and you can kind of play underneath and know that you have help down the field. They're playing a lot of the Fangio style coverages, the match quarters, the 1 cross, which you're going to see. You're going to see 1 cross and 1 rat broken down in detail tomorrow in the film room episode that's coming out because Fangio used it against Dallas. So it's coverages that help out their corners, even in man situations, against routes that beat man coverage. So even without Jair Alexander, their corners are getting appropriate help and they're not just getting left out to dry. That's what I think he's been doing really, really well. Another carry from Devonta Freeman on 1st and 10 here. Start the drive, got nothing. Javon Holland is so good. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. See if I can catch up here on. I don't think I have any other super chats. Oh, no, I do. From Aviana for $10. Thank you. I believe in Fields, seeing that he needs to develop. What do you think the Bears should trade their older wait, do you think the Bears should trade their older players like Mac? I want the Saints left tackle in free agency since surrounding Fields with talent is crucial. Yeah, good luck getting him. I don't think the Saints are ever going to let any of their premier offensive linemen go because they know how important they are. They know how hard they are to find. Unless you're trading an exorbitant amount of assets or paying an exorbitant amount of money, I don't think that's going to happen. Your best bet is, I mean, they don't have any picks. So what is their best bet? Hoping you land a mid-round tackle that turns into a very effective left tackle. Not saying everybody can be David Bakhtiari, who's a 5th-round pick, but it does happen. Like, there are teams that get really good tackles in the mid-rounds, like Braden Smith of the Colts. I'm trying to think of, like, when's the last time a premier left tackle was on the market? God. I don't remember. Like, it just doesn't really happen. Like, I guess you could say Trent Williams, but like that was kind of a unique situation because he just wanted out of Washington. But like Trent's a very unique situation that like, it doesn't really happen ever. Ravens are punting again. We are 3-0 or 3-0 right now, which is what we all expected, right? Honestly, I expected the Ravens to be blowing them the hell out at this point, but I guess not. But yeah, no, in terms of, do I think the Bears should trade their older players? I think the window where you were going to get anything for Akeem Hicks was like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago at most before the injury started mounting up. I mean, I don't know that you would still even get anything for Mac that's like worth trading away a player like Mac. Like, I don't think you're going to get a 1st-round pick for Khalil Mack at this point. Like, with his age and the injuries and everything like that, like you might get this a similar kind of deal to like what the Broncos got for Von Miller, but that's only if you eat all the money anyway, which they don't have. And it's like if you're trading Mac to open up cap space, you're not going to get any assets unless you don't open up the cap space. So it's like I'd rather just keep Mac. Allen Robinson, you might just have to let him go, get whatever he's going to get in free agency. And then just kind of hope for the best and draft new guys in the middle rounds. Because if there's one thing you can get very easily in the mid rounds is receivers, because you don't have a 1st-round pick, or you can sign guys off the street. Like there's a million receivers. You can get that, but you can't get a premier left tackle. It's almost impossible. Almost never happens in free agency. And like if Washington handled the Trent Williams situation like with even a modicum of decency, he wouldn't have left anyway. Titans are 7-2 with Bobby fucking Hart. Yeah, I'm as stunned as you are about that one. Because I mean, come on, it's Bobby Hart. Anyone who had to sit through the most depressing season of the Colts in 2019 knows Jacoby ain't it. That was not the most depressing season of the Colts. Do you not remember 2011? That was the most depressing season of Colts football. You happened to get lucky and get Andrew Luck as the 1st overall pick, but like for a solid chunk of that year, you didn't know that you were going to get Andrew Luck, like because they won a game. Remember, and everybody's like, "Oh God, I don't think we're going to get him." And then, luckily, the Tank Bowl worked out in their favor. But Andrew Luck was almost a Jaguar. People forget that he was almost a Jaguar. Like 2011 was the most depressing season by far. There we go. Myles Gaskin getting targets. Just what I need. No, it's Salvin Ahmed. No. Throw it to Miles. See, checking in here. Yeah, okay. I have 3 yards. Oh, no. I have 3 yards. And we're in the second quarter. I think I'm screwed tonight, boys. I don't think this is going to work out in my favor. Gesicki still has 0 receptions. Oh, man. Rip. William Reed for $2. Have you been to US Bank Stadium? If so, thoughts? I have not, unfortunately. I've not found my way to Minnesota. Oh, wait, no. US Bank Stadium? That's Minnesota, right? Bank of America is Carolina. US Bank is Minnesota. Yeah, no, I haven't been to either one. I might be going to B of A Stadium later this season because some of my best friends live out in Charlotte. So I might go out for a Panthers game and see them. Ooh, Waddle with a nice catch for first down. Nice pickup in blitz protection from Salvin Ahmed. Not a great ball from Brissett. Route from Waddle. Humphrey was getting the fuck out of there. You see, that's how you know they respect the speed. Like Humphrey was getting out of there, and then Waddle just snapped it off. Ooh, okay. They got that off. It was close, though. They were down to no seconds left on the play clock. For a 2-yard run. Guy with no vowels for $5. Hey, Brett, New York City Ravens fan here to update you on a potential UDFA sighting. With Elliott done, Stevens in, Darius Washington might get some snap. Or Darius. Yeah, Washington. I was like, his last name is Washington, right? The TCU kid. I forgot Elliott got hurt. But I loved Darius. I still don't understand why he went UDFA. Like, he's such a perfect fit for what the Ravens do defensively. Like, the fact that he made the team was not a surprise to me because I had a 3rd-round grade on him, and he went UDFA. It must have been a medical thing. Because, he was such a good player at TCU. And like I said, so perfect for what the Ravens do. He can cover in the slot. He's great against the run. He's not very big, but they've never really made it a priority to have size at safety. They just care, can you play? 3rd and 1. And they're going play action on 3rd and 1. Oh, great catch. Who's 80? Is that their 3rd tight end? I should probably have a roster up, shouldn't I? Want the old YY look. Fought off Chuck Clark. Sky up. Go get it. Yeah. Oh, it's Adam Shaheen. Wow. Adam Shaheen sighting. I totally forgot he was on the Dolphins. What the hell? Adam Shaheen can make plays now? Since when? Darius isn't active. That sucks. Loved him at TCU. Also, hated to see Elliott get hurt. He's a really good player. Great in that locker room, too. Everybody loves him. Let me see here. Is that Owe that got another pressure? Drew the hold? No, Tyus Bowser. Tyus Bowser is another, just really solid football player. kind of like a Kyle Van Noy, but bigger and stronger. Just does everything for them. He can cover, he can rush, plays the run, line them up in multiple spots. Always been very solid for them. All right, too high in the red zone on 1st and goal from 15. Definitely looks like quarters. Another PBU. See that Chuck Clark, I think? Yeah. Chuck Clark just gets thicker every year. Still hasn't lost any like movement skills, but I'm like, shit, he looks like a linebacker now. I mean, look at him. He looks like he's like 220, but he's a safety. It's like the thickest safety on that team. And like he looks so much bigger than every other DB. It's hilarious. Okay, a screen to Adam Shaheen on 2nd and goal. Probably not what I would have done, but you do you. It shows you how desperate they are. Like that's their red zone call now with all their injuries. It's a leak screen to Adam Shaheen. Assassinated 8 for $5. Top head coaching candidates. Mine has been Dable since last season. I agree. I would say, let's see, who's another one? Byron Leftwich is up there. Ooh, fade. Out of bounds. Not a good ball from Jacoby Brissett at all. I don't even think that was catchable. Yeah. I'm sorry. If you're throwing that far over the head of a 6'4" receiver, you never had a shot to complete that in the first place. Somehow this game could be tied in about 5 seconds here. Miami going for a field goal. I don't understand how it's tied, but here we are. The NFL is weird, man. And there it is, 3-3. Other head coaching candidates besides Dable, like I said, Byron Leftwich is up there. I don't really think anybody's thinking Joe Brady at this point with the performance of the Panthers offense. Not necessarily all been his fault. Like Darnold just wasn't playing well, but still, usually you're not hiring an offensive coordinator for an offense as lowly ranked as they are to be your head coach. Let's see. Has there been other coordinators around the league that really stand out? Like that also are kind of like young and hungry. Let me think here. Let me look at all the coordinator list that I have. McDaniels, I don't consider McDaniels a candidate for anybody but New England for when Bill retires. I don't think Leslie Frazier is a candidate that people are considering because of age. Ah, man. I don't think either of the Pittsburgh coordinators are under consideration. Yeah, D'Amico Ryans is probably still a couple years away from getting interviews. Man, the Bieniemy thing, I don't know. I don't know how the league sees Bieniemy right now. Vance Joseph might get a couple calls for an interview for a second shot around. Wouldn't be surprised. Cardinals defense is playing really well under him now that they actually have all the pieces that he wanted and needed. Wouldn't be surprised if people called him for an interview. I'm not saying he'll get something. Dennis Allen, I think, deserves another shot, another consideration. He's done really good work in New Orleans for a long time as their defensive coordinator. Man, it's weird. Like usually there's so many coordinators that you can name off the top of your head that are like slammed. I mean, Kellen Moore obviously is like top of mind for a lot of people, but I don't think Dallas is letting him get away. I think they'd rather fire McCarthy and promote Moore than lose more. But yeah, other than that, I can't really think of any. 2011, they were tanking. It doesn't count. Autumn again. Best case for Bengals first round, just curious. Like player? Oh, man. I don't know, because I think they might be picking in the 20s, and you never know who's going to be available in the 20s. I mean, it's a pretty deep edge class. You're definitely not going to get the kid from NC State, that tackle, who's a monster. He's going to be way off the board. You're not getting Hamilton. You're not getting. I'm trying to think, because I want to get a more defensive line help just to add to the rotation. Not that their defensive line is playing bad, but I just want depth there. But I don't know who's going to be available in the 20s, because I do think that they're going to be a playoff team, or at least damn close to it. I think as I familiarize myself more with this draft class, I'll probably have a better answer in a couple months. But as of right now, I don't think I know. I don't think I'm comfortable talking about enough guys to know, like, yeah, he'll be there in the 20s. It's probably a January Brett question. Adam fucking Shaheen. Oh, man. It's interesting that, like, they only run certain stuff with Le'Veon Bell. They do not run the straight up, like, downhill concepts. They're running more zone so that he can do his running style of stopping, reading, kind of picking his spots. They don't do the same like they do with Freeman, where it's like it hits now. It's like you got to follow that lead block and go. They don't really do that same kind of stuff with Lev, which is nice. They're going empty on 2nd and 9. That's interesting. Tip drill. So they got a 0 look there and wanted to hit the screen. Remember, we talked earlier about the 3 options you could do against a 0 look. Wanted to hit the screen. Agba came off the edge, got a hand up, knocked it down. That might have broke for a big gain too if Agba didn't do that, because they had numbers there. They absolutely had numbers. They could have broke that. Good play by him. It's been such an exciting Thursday night football game. I mean, that's why we do these pick'ems, is to give us something to root for. Like right now, I'm rooting for Mike Gesicki to catch a fucking ball. I would be satisfied with that. I think the only one I might hit is Devonta. Maybe. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit more worried about that. It's 4th and 7. This has been a punt fest of the lowest order so far. Is he answering only donos? No, those are just the ones that catch my eye because they're color coded on my chat. So those are the ones that I just immediately see. So my eye goes to those first. But not only donos, though. Just if I have a dono, I'll read it first, because I don't want people to waste their hard-earned money. Like this one. Ice Pyro for $5. Love the content. Quick question. Can you tell Andy Reid to stop zone runs and run power? Signed, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, and Trey Smith. I would accept power. I would accept counter. I would accept duo. I would accept anything that lets these big chonkers in their interior trio blow somebody up. Like I would accept Belly, get him working on some pin and pull to the edge where they can just go demolish a corner out in space. I would accept any of those because their interior three is really, really good. But instead, alas, outside zone. Like Jeff Schwartz has been like begging them to run GT counter like all season long, and they've done it like 3 times. So annoying. Change your smoke alarm battery. Has the smoke alarm been beeping? I have headphones on, so I can't hear anything. I apologize if it has been. Brett, should I sit Kamara? He hasn't practiced all week. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, because like Friday's usually the day where it's like they don't practice Friday, they're probably not playing. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, yes, sit him. Because that tells me that he's not doing anything all week. William Reed for $10. Appreciate that, William. Should the Vikes move on from Zimmer and go for a guy like Dable? Yes. I haven't even read the rest of the question yet, but yes. This team has so much potential offensively. I think OC is looking for a head coaching job with Drool to come there. Yeah. A capable quarterback, a great receiver. We think their running back will be there next year. We'll see. First things first, I don't know what's true and what's not true about the Dalvin Cook situation. I have no idea. I just hope that whoever was the victim in this gets the help and support they need. That's all I think I can really say because we don't really know anything else. So, yeah, if we'll see. It's such a messy he said, she said. I'm hoping that it whoever happened to be the victim there, I just hope that they get what they need from their support structure. Because it doesn't sound good either way. Not gonna lie. It sounds kind of terrible either way. But yes, no, I agree. Dable would be a great fit for them. I would love it if he went there. And I'm sure so would Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. But I agree. Thank you. Did Brissett just get hurt? Somebody run into his arm? Kind of seemed like it. He's still in the game, though. 3rd and 6. Oh, there you go. Wide open. Got to it really late, though. Oh, that might be a shit spot. I don't know about that. That might be a shit spot for Waddle. Waddle was completely uncovered, by the way. He got to it really late. Yeah, that was a bad spot. That's first down. He extended. That's a really bad spot. That was like a yard short. You got to review that. You have to. I mean, look at it. That's not even close. Yeah. Magnus Lord for $2. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, Waddle knows he's got it. Arthur 99 Munn for $5. I think that's Brazilian, right? Or is that rubles? I'll have to look that up. As of right now, would you fire Flores for next season or Greer? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I would. I kind of want to see how they do in the back half of the year. Because, the defense is playing their ass off tonight, which is Flores' guys. It's his defense. they're holding the 6-2 Ravens team to 3 points in the first half. Like, they're fighting, they're competing, they're playing for their coach despite being 2-7. We'll see how they do in the back half of the year. Again, the record is going to be the record. Like, their talent's not where it needs to be. But until I see this locker room quit on flow, I don't know if I feel comfortable firing them. They need to get offensive line and quarterback correct. They really do. Because, I mean, they just can't run the ball. I mean, look, every carry is going for 2 yards. They're getting no movement. Spencer Breed for $2. Who are your top 5 to 10 rookies this season so far? Mac Jones is up there. Fields, after seeing what he did to Pittsburgh, has got to be up there. There's how encouraging he is. Jamar Chase, obviously. Micah Parsons has been great. I think Pat Surtain's been great. Horn was very good before he got hurt. I would say Owa for the Ravens has been very good. Kwity Paye's been good. John Cooper for the Broncos, 7th-round pick, has also been very good. Javonte Williams, also for the Broncos, has been very good. Quinn Miners, I think, has been good. Rashawn Slater. Javon Holland for the Dolphins that we're seeing tonight. Pat Freiermuth, I think, looks like a legit future star at tight end. Pitts, I think, has looked phenomenal. It's a very, very good rookie class. Very good rookie class. Michael Carter, I think, has made some plays. It's tough to rank them like in order, top 10, but like we've seen a lot of flashes from some very, very good young rookies. Who did the Chiefs draft? Creed Humphrey, center, and Trey Smith, actually. Both of their offensive line, rookie offensive linemen have been great. I'm trying to think who else. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Najee. See? I knew I missed somebody. Khalil Herbert was like top 3 in rushing while he was starting for that like great 3-week period. A lot of good rookies. Roman Bobek for $2. Convinced me to stay a Bills fan after last Sunday. Bro, you're 5-3. You got the number 1 defense in the league. You're fine. You're going to be fine. You're still in the lead in the division, or at least sharing the lead in the division. Like, are you out of contention for the number 1 seed? I wouldn't say so. You're like a game back from the 1 seed. You're going to be fine. They just got to handle their business the rest of the year. And they'll be home for the playoffs the entire year. Can't drop games like that to Jacksonville more than once. But they're still probably a more talented team than the vast majority of teams they're going to play against this year. So they'll be fine. Have faith. AJ Terrell has been great. Absolutely he has. Absolutely he has. He's been phenomenal. What needs do the Ravens have in the next draft? Offensive line depth for sure. At least depth. Man, what else do they need? I think they're okay at receiver. Now that they got Bateman, they're good at tight end. I would say some of their defensive lines getting a little long in the tooth, so getting more young rotational defensive linemen to go with Adafeoa in the future would be great. They got more DBs than they know what to do with when they're healthy. Health has been the thing, though. Like on paper, they're super talented, but health has been a problem. Like maybe another corner, but it's like, it's not like that desperate of a need. That's good coverage by Averett there. Stacking on top of the go ball to Waddle. Oh, he dropped the pick. Ah, that's rough. See, Marcus Peters would have caught that, but he's hurt. That's what I'm talking about. Health is their issue, not talent. Oh, I totally forgot about JOK. Yeah, he's been one of the best defensive rookies at any position, but again, he got hurt. But oh my God, he's phenomenal. He's better than they even thought. Azeez Ojulari, that's a good one. Forgot about him. He's been fantastic for the Giants. That's a really good one. I totally forgot about Ojulari. Christian Barmore, he's been excellent for the Patriots. Pete Werner. And I loved him coming out of Ohio State too. He's a great blitzer. Great blitzer. And they got him in the second round. There was buzz he might go in the first, but they got him in the second. Ooh, Hollywood almost dropped that screen, but got a first down out of it. What is that, like 4 screens they've thrown in a row going back to last drive? I'd love to see him stretch the field a little bit. Stokes from Green Bay, I think, has outperformed expectations, in my opinion. Like, not that I didn't like Stokes, but he's played fantastic when he was healthy. Larry Borum, that's a good one. Yeah, he's looked good. Rondale Moore, I agree. He's been dynamic. Oh, Lamar's taken off. Got about 6 out of it. From Checkmate89, hey, Brett, curious about your thoughts on the trends of the NFL and how there's a cyclical nature to the schemes and personnel, i.e. teams going more heavy in 12 and 13 to counter the smaller defensive personnel. I mean, yeah, it happens. It goes back and forth. I mean, it just depends on that tip to the line, I think it was. Yeah, ball tipped the line to Hollywood. Like, you look at Pete Carroll, going back to his college days, he was a Tampa 2 coach. He's known for cover 3 now, but he was a cover 2 guy, in the Rod Marinelli mold from like those dominant Tampa teams of the early 2000s. And then rather than, kind of base out of Tampa 2, because they didn't have the linebacker, the Mike, to make it work, they drafted Earl Thomas and basically ran a very similar coverage because Tampa 2, he just considered inverted cover 3. So they just ran cover 3 because they got Earl Thomas. So it's like, if we're going to cover the middle with an all pro, have it be a safety instead of a linebacker, kind of accomplishes the same thing. So it just depends on what personnel you have, what you can make work. And then if you do make it work at an elite level, the rest of the league is going to try to copy it. And then the other side of the ball is going to adjust to that. And then people adjust to that. And then they adjust and adjust and adjust. And now we end up here where we got, teams running spread and air raid concepts. And then teams running, the same match quarters looks that you get down at the high school level in 6A in Texas, because that's what works against it. And then teams see that that's what works against it. So then they lean back into 12 and 13 personnel and just run the ball at them, because now you're getting a 260-pound fullback matched up on a 195-pound nickel on a kick out. So yeah, you're right. It's all cyclical. It just depends on what works, what people copy, what their personnel is. Every 2 to 3 years, it just recycles over and over and over again to infinity. Another punt from the Ravens. I guarantee you in 3 years, NFL's going to look different again, because something else is going to work. And everybody's going to copy it. Like the Shanahan West Coast stuff, where like you're hitting deep crosses off play action. Nobody could handle that until all of a sudden NFL defenses relearned. This is not a new concept. They relearned how to do a proper jump call to have the safety cut the crosser in the corner, backside corner, replace it. Once teams learned, like we saw a PBU on that in this game from Javon Holland. He cut the crosser, backside corner, replace. Like, That doesn't, it's not automatic first downs anymore like it used to be because NFL defense is adjusted. And so now you got to figure out another way to beat one high looks because you can't just get free yards off the crosses anymore. That's why Kansas City's having so much trouble. Like they used to get free yards from putting Tyreek at number 3, occupying the free safety and running a 4-2-2 receiver on a deep cross against some corner that had no prayer of keeping up with him and you had no help. It was free yards every single time. And now teams are starting to run poach and they're starting to run one cross and they're starting to run all manner of too high coverages that cut that crosser. And they got nothing else. They can't do anything else. I'm not saying the Chiefs won't adjust to it. Eventually they might, maybe. But defense has certainly adjusted to them. Anyway, sorry if that's a little bit ranty for you. But that topic does fascinate me. Keith Worthing for $2. How could you forget the D-line god named Barmore? I got him in there. Eventually. Took a while, but I got him in there. Cam for $5. Roman finally discovered what screen passes were, and now he won't stop doing them. That's true. They never ran screens, and now that's all they're running is fucking screens. See, that to me tells me that they don't think they can pass protect. If all they're running is screens, they don't think they can pass protect. They've got to figure it out. They got to do something else. Or else Miami's just going to keep eating them alive. All right, Brissett dropping back. Check down City. We might really go to the half at 3-3, folks. That's rough. If you bet the under, you're feeling great. Oh, shit. I forgot to bet on this game. Actually, I'm kind of happy I didn't bet on this game. I think I might have saved myself. What was the over-under? 40? 45? Yeah, I might have dodged a bullet by not betting on this game, to be honest. Victor for $2. Thank you, Victor. Texans doomed forever. What team should I support? Oh, they got it to Waddle. No, that's not Waddle. Timeout. I saw the 7, thought it was Waddle. What do they call there? Let me see the replay. What was it? It's to Isaiah Ford. Oh, it's just a bust. The corner was playing cloud. He thought he had a deep. It was Averett. He thought he had a deep half safety behind him, and he didn't. They rotated to one high. Oh no! I don't know if that's on Averett or if that's on the safeties. I don't know what their call was supposed to be, but clearly they changed it, and somebody didn't communicate because he just collisioned and then backed off in a flat zone like it was cover 2, and there was nobody behind him. Oh, how do you bust there? Gotta communicate. That sucks for Baltimore, at least. All right, 25 seconds, but they got no timeouts though. So we'll see how they're handling situations here. Quarters in the red zone. You got to go. Caught him. Oh, flag. That'll stop the clock. Are they calling helmet to helmet? Let's see the replay. It's a good ball from Brissett. Is that helmet to helmet? I don't know if that was helmet to helmet. I don't have sound on, so I can't hear what they're calling. That looked like shoulder to back. Am I blind? Am I wrong, guys? Okay, maybe from that angle, it does look like helmet to helmet. I don't know. It's kind of a bang call. What team should I support? I mean, you could join me in also liking the Bears a lot, but I can't promise you it's going to be good for your mental health. Oh, good breakup by Averett, bouncing back from the bust. All right, second and goal, 9 seconds. You got one more play, then you got to kick the field goal. It's going to be a pass. It's going to be a pass into the end zone. You can't risk getting tackled short because you can't run the field goal unit on in 9 seconds. So it's going to be in the end zone. If I'm the Ravens, I blitz. I try to go for a sack. You have to. Leave your guys on an island. Call zero. I feel like they're going to call zero if I know Wink. Go for the sack. Trust your guys to win. It's 9 seconds. Because, I don't think they're going to throw a screen as a zero beater because they don't want to risk getting tackled short of the goal line inbounds and getting nothing. It's got to be zero here. All right, let's see what they do. How many seconds on the play? I don't think play clock's rolling yet. This just feels like all out from Wink. All right, second and goal. 15 seconds on the play clock. Oh, they're not showing zero. They're just showing coverage. 3 deep. Incomplete. Field goal units coming out. He's asking for, Shaheen's asking for a call, but he pushed as well. So let him play. You can't initiate contact like that and then bitch when he grabs onto you too. That's the ref's not going to give you that call. If you literally go up and shove and then he sticks to you to prevent you from getting free on an OPI, it's fair game. They're not going to call that. As they shouldn't, by the way. Philip Grunstein for $5. If you were Andrew Barry, would you pay Baker $40 million a year? I'm afraid once we pay him, he won't be able to keep a stacked roster to support him. It depends on how the deal's structured. Depends on what the guarantees are. Because you can do a quote unquote $40 million a year deal, but only have 2 of it essentially guaranteed, or 2 years of it guaranteed. So I think it just depends on what the guarantees are. I think that's really all that matters. Whatever the deal is, again, I don't care what the maximums are. I don't care how incentive laden you make it. If they can get out of it in 2 years, that I think is ideal, just in case. And then just pack a shit ton of escalators on there to make it worth Baker's while if it works out. So it protects the team and they can get rid of him in 2 years if it doesn't work. And it gives Baker a potential to still make a lot of money with escalators. I'm not a cap expert, so I'm not entirely sure if it's possible to put all of those things into one deal, but I'm sure it is. Because you got to protect the team from that potentially going south, Rated MOC for $5. Thoughts on the Jets draft? AVT's been elite. Both of Michael Carter's have been great starters. I agree. If Wilson is legit, this could be an elite draft. I agree. If you're getting a great offensive lineman, a good corner, a good running back, and a franchise quarterback out of one draft, that's more than most draft classes ever can say for any team. Even the Chiefs in the Mahomes draft, yeah, they got Mahomes. They didn't get anybody else. So it was a successful draft because they got Mahomes. But if you tack on great offensive lineman, great corner, and great running back, that's a ridiculous draft. We'll see if Wilson works out. Just went to the halftime, by the way. We'll see if Wilson works out, but if he does, that's probably the best draft in Jets history if he works out. Khalil Herbert is Brett's 2021 I told you so. Oh man, is he my I told you so? Because I feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people like Khalil Herbert, right? I hope I wasn't alone on that. I had him graded above Travis Etienne, but Etienne's hurt, so I can't really like claim credit because the guy got hurt. I don't know if I have an I told you so yet. We'll see in a couple of years, but he very well could be at some point. Because again, I had him in my top 4 at running back. Love the dude. Chris Schaefer for $20. Justin Herbert 2021 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Is that cousin Chris? Is that the cousin Chris Schaefer? My wife's cousin is Chris Schaefer, and he's a Chargers fan, so I think that's cousin Chris. That's hilarious if it is. If it is, hi Chris. Hope the kids are good. We'll see you guys soon. We'll go down to Stone and get some beers next time you guys are free. See, was he Offensive Rookie of the Year? I think he was, right? I'm pretty sure he was. He set a whole bunch of records. And I picked him this year for MVP. Which so far he's not the MVP frontrunner, but he's in the conversation. So I feel good about that. They said there wasn't a flag on the helmet to helmet, right? That's good if that wasn't a flag. Flag picked up. Okay, I'm assuming that they just didn't call anything, which is good. You're from maybe just take the field goal on second. I still think that they should have run a play on second down, but it just couldn't be short of the goal line, which it wasn't. Like you got 9 seconds, you got to use the 9 seconds, but it just had to be the right play. Redditech 360 for $2. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. Wink's been good this game so far. Roman is leaving much to be desired. Just got to quit the screen passes and throw down the field. Like get the play action game because they were throwing down the field off play action early in the game. They were running the ball well earlier in the game. And then they started doing these number counts on the outside where they're like, well, we're getting 3 versus 3. That means we have to throw screen. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Like if their DBs are getting off blocks and making tackles, you're not succeeding in the screen game. I don't care what the number count is. Don't throw the screen. Run something else. Hopefully that's an adjustment they make at halftime. Brett, what do you think about the Cincinnati college football playoff thing? In my opinion, they shouldn't be in based on how easy their schedule is. Well, they beat Notre Dame, which is a better win than most, if not all, of the other top 10 teams have. It's going to be tough because they already set them lower than the top 4. So they have to win out and they need to hope that the guys ahead of them lose again. So it's like they need to hope that, Oregon loses bad somehow. They need to hope. Let's see, who is Michigan State still ahead of them even after their loss? I think they are. I didn't look at this week's. Because, Michigan State lost, but they also lost to Purdue, who were like Titan Slayers. So it's like, can you really hold it that much against them? All right, let me see what the current ranking is. And I'll throw this up here. So See, it's Georgia, Bama, obvious, Oregon at 8-1 over Ohio State because Oregon beat Ohio State. I can understand their feeling on that. I still think Ohio State's the more talented team, but whatever, fine. They're both in the playoff. Doesn't really matter that much. So Cincinnati's at 5 right now. Okay, so Michigan is below them, or Michigan State is below them after their loss. Interesting that Michigan State beat Michigan, but Michigan's 6 and Michigan State's 7. Huh. That I didn't notice before. Why the fuck did they do that? Just because Michigan State's loss was more recent? And to a quote-unquote worse team? So are they considering the Michigan State win or the Michigan loss to Michigan State a quote-unquote quality loss because it's to the 7th-ranked team, but the 7th-ranked team lost to Purdue? Is that the roundabout logic we're going with here? And then you got Oklahoma undefeated at 8. I'm actually more surprised that they put Cincinnati 4 spots ahead of another undefeated team. Like maybe it's because the Big 12 is just like not very strong this year, so they're taking that into account. But this is, yeah, okay. Outside the top 4, this is a really weird top 10. Huh. And then you got A&M at 11, probably solely because they beat Bama, even though they're a 2-loss team with some less than encouraging losses. I don't really know how to interpret this. Well, on the subject of Cincinnati, they just need to hope that Oregon loses. Or maybe that Ohio State gets cannibalized by Michigan. But if Michigan beats Ohio State, they'll probably just put them in the top 4. So you really got to hope that Oregon loses, which is in the Pac-12, and they're the best team in the Pac-12 by far. So I don't think they will lose. Man, this is a rough go. This is a rough go if you're a Bearcats fan. Hey, Brett, was wondering about your thoughts on Nate Hobbs so far. He's been fantastic. He's been their best rookie. He was named to the mid-season All-Pro team, and I was wondering your thoughts. Yeah, he's been awesome. Which, going back to preseason, he was great in preseason as well. Picking balls off, getting PBUs like crazy, making great tackles on screens in the backfield. Like, Hobbs has been one of their best players on defense, and that's saying a lot because they have a Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner, Max Crosby, and Yannick Ngakoue, who's getting a million pressures a game. Hobbs been their best DB, not even particularly close. One of the best picks the Raiders have made, I would say, in the last several years. Him and Crosby are both on that list. He's been awesome. He's been great. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. Let's see here. Anvil C6 for $5. So for the Colts to make the playoffs, barring finding 2 new backup safeties, what rank of quarterback does Wentz have to play? Top 10, top 7? He'll need to be a top 10 quarterback over the back half of the year for the Colts to survive all of their injuries and overcome a complete shit show of an AFC where there's like 15 teams that are in playoff contention. It's a hard road for them because, again, they started off so slow. They've looked better every single week, but they're so far behind the 8 ball. Like, if this version of the Colts was playing back in week 1, they would probably be in contention for the number 1 seed. But they had a really slow start. Really, really slow start. But in order to make up all that kind of ground, like, Wentz is going to have to carry the team. He's going to have to play like a top 10 quarterback, if not top 7, to make up the gap with the rest of the conference. It's going to be tough. Like, it's doable. It's possible. But he's going to have to play out of his mind for sure. Same goes for Pittman. Same goes for Jonathan Taylor. He's going to have to keep playing like an Offensive Player of the Year candidate, which he is. Again, it's not impossible. It's just going to be really, really hard. Mondo for $5. What do you think the Seahawks have to do to be contenders again? Get a new coach. Is that too harsh? Get a new staff. Get somebody that I think can maximize Russell Wilson, the greatest player in franchise history, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like, yeah, he's got receivers, but like, get yourself your own. This is easier said than done. Get yourself your own Sean McVay to pair with Russell Wilson, and they'll be contenders again. Like, I love Pete, but I think it's time. I really do. I think it's time. Like his one calling card was, hey, our running game's great, our defense is great. Well, when you don't have those two things, team kind of falls apart, doesn't it? Evans for 10, top 2022 quarterbacks, and are any of them number one pick worthy? I don't feel like I've done enough work on all of them to say for sure yes or no. I really like Jerkovich from Boston College last year when I was kind of doing my summer study. Malik Willis was another guy when I was doing my summer study that I really, really liked. But I don't know if I'm ready to say like, yes, 100% slam dunk, Joe Burrow quality, take him at number one, no matter what type guy. I think, as I start doing work for Shrine Bowl, because they'll likely be there over like December-ish when I'm doing all the work for that, I'm going to talk to Eric Galco, the director of the Shrine Bowl, and get the tape I need to study them more in depth. Oh, game's back finally. I'll have, I think, a more informed opinion, probably late December-ish. But as of right now, I don't want to look stupid and say like, absolutely number one. Like because I don't know. At least not yet. I don't know. Autumn for $2. Any life advice for an overwhelmed college kid? I think it depends on what's overwhelming you. If it's, like workload, I would reassess how many units you're taking and see if, maybe it's best for you to add on an extra year to your plan to do less units per quarter, per semester, whatever structure your college is in, so that you can maximize your mental health and make yourself more efficient in your classes and get better grades. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to care if you graduate in 5 years versus 4. But if you flame out because you try to get it done in 4 instead of 5, or 5 instead of 6, whatever, then it does no good to anybody. Like, I graduated in 5 years. I couldn't have done it in 4. I wasn't that good at school. If it's something other than workload, I guess it kind of depends on what it is, but usually like college stress is because everybody feels like they don't have enough time to do everything they need to do. So I would say do less and extend out your timeline that you need to be there so that you can pour all of your effort, or at least a more efficient version of you, into what you have left over. Like if that means you need to do 4 classes instead of 5, do 4. Because at least then you won't, kill yourself trying to get a piece of paper. I'd rather you not do that. Again, it's not the end of the world to graduate in an extra year. Half the people I know did it in an extra year precisely for that reason, myself included. So if you feel like you're doing too much, do less. Also, get an internship. Companies care way more about internships than they do about transcripts. They want to know that you have work experience. I love that Eli PFP. I literally cannot get into college football due to the postseason setup. Yeah, they need more playoff teams. 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins here, by the way, at their own 25. Crucial drop on 2nd and 10 from Gaskin. Something tells me I'm not going to hit on the pick'em tonight, boys. But it's okay. That's why it's 20-1 odds on underdog, right? Because you're not going to win all 20. Since he won't make it, but they should because it would be fun. I agree. I'd love to see a rematch of Georgia versus Cincinnati. That was a good bowl game a couple of years ago. I want to see it again. Georgia would probably annihilate them, but at least it'd be fun. Oh, big sack on Brissett. Oh, he's hurt. Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. Oh, that doesn't look good. Tua's coming in the game. Wait, Tua was dressed? I thought he had a broken finger. How did he? That was a. I didn't get a good look at what happened on the replay, but he's definitely grabbing his knee. Oh, that sucks for Jacoby, man. You hate to see that. How often do you poop? That's a good question. Average? I didn't ignore it. I didn't. No, let's go average. I don't know. I don't feel like I do it too much or too little. Woody for $2. What quarterbacks do you like for the Finns, draft or free agent? Ooh, that's a good question. Will there be any available in free agency? I don't know that there will be. At least any that are worth it. It's very possible that the Packers put Jordan Love on the block because they want to appease Aaron Rodgers and extend him. I would take a look and see what it would cost to get him. Probably not that much because he'd only have 2 or maybe 3 years, depending on the option left on a cheap deal. Which, like, the main advantage of having a young rookie quarterback is that they're cheap. So that contract would already be half over. Plus, he didn't look particularly great, either in preseason or regular season action. So you could probably get him for cheap. And at that point, it's a flyer. Like, who cares? Like, Green Bay would just be wanting to get him out of the building to appease Aaron anyway. So you throw a third rounder at him or something like that, third or fourth rounder, use a comp pick, like whatever, get Jordan Love, see what you got. Because if he doesn't work out, like, who cares? Again, it's a third round pick. That's assuming that they get rid of Tua, which who knows if they will. They might trade for Deshaun Watson, but the legal issues are so murky there that I don't know if they will. Because apparently the owner wanted, I think there were reports, I should say, that the owner didn't want to trade for Deshaun Watson unless all 22 of his accusers signed NDAs, which is super sketchy, by the way. Like, super sketchy. Okay, there's the replay of the Jacoby injury. What happened? Is that a patella? It was kind of a wonky angle. I can't really tell what happened. So I don't know. Maybe they trade for Deshaun, but again, the legal issues are so murky and the situation just feels so icky to me that, like, if I was them, I wouldn't do it. But we'll see. Oh, Lamar's taking off. All right. 10 yards down, like another 60 to go. Scratch that. 50 to go. I need Gaskin to get 64 yards in this half. I need Lamar to get 50-ish yards. I need Bateman to get 35-ish yards. I need Freeman to get about 16, and I need Gesicki to catch 5 balls in this half alone. Oh, I'm screwed, aren't I? I'm absolutely screwed. I wonder if let's see. I wonder if I could do this little volume if you guys can hear that. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Maybe you can. I just turned on the game audio, so just for myself. All right, let's see here. 2nd and 10. Oh, another fucking screen. Can we stop? Can we not, please? God. All right, I'm trying to catch up on super chats here. 3rd and 15 because they threw another fucking screen. God, you call a 7-man protection and you can't pick up one guy off the edge? What? You had 2 guys blocking nothing. What are we doing? Good Lord. All right. Chris Wright, what do you think about Cam Newton's return? I think it's good for Carolina because Darnold was not playing well at all, and PJ Walker, outside of preseason, has not looked great either in his few regular season opportunities, both last year and this year. So I think Cam Newton's a more proven commodity. Again, in terms of what I expect upside-wise, I don't have a whole lot of expectations upside-wise, but I do think he can probably steer the ship better than their other quarterbacks have been able to this year. So I think it's a good signing for them. I think he got like 10 million or something like that, which is a lot of money, more money than I expected. Shows you how desperate they were. They really didn't want to have to start PJ Walker long term or Sam. Let me catch up. Damn, you guys have been popping off in chat. My Lord. Here we go. Double D Productions. Please trash the Raiders so they win the AFC. I mean, I put out a video and then they cut Damon Arnett like a day later. So I feel like anytime I mention the Raiders, bad shit happens to them. But I can't trash the Raiders. They played well this year. The game against the Giants was ugly, though. I will say that. Derek just didn't look himself. The 2 picks by McKinney were not good throws by Carr. The offense in general just looked way out of whack. Defense played well, but there's only so much you can do to overcome turnovers. Can we let Lamar call the plays? Please. Please. I trust him more at this point. They've thrown like 10 screens tonight, if not more. Leg trapped under a bit. MCL sprain, hopefully. I mean, that's best case scenario, right? MCL sprain for Brissett. For his own sake, I hope that's what we're getting. All right, 2 is in. Let's see how he's throwing. All right, I'm going to turn the volume back on for myself at a very low point. Let me know if you can hear it, and I'll turn it off. All right, Tua from the gun on his own goal line. And a run for 4. Gase is not a good head coach, but Darnold also plays like garbage. At some point, you have to blame Darnold. I don't disagree. Darnold looked great the first 3 weeks and then looked terrible every other game after that. At some point, the first 3-game sample size gets overruled by the last 6-game sample size, you know? That was a good ball from Tua on the out. Was somebody in chat can correct me, was the broken finger on his throwing hand? Is that why he wasn't starting? Because that was a good ball. Maybe it hurt him a lot to throw it, but that was a good ball. It was on his left hand. All right. Does D-Jax fix the Raiders? I mean, define fix. It gives them a legitimate deep threat, but I don't know if I would say that like fix it like he's the key that's going to open everything. Like I don't know about that, but it does give them an element that they didn't have post Henry Ruggs that now they have again. Oh, that ball was not great from Tua. Was that a miscommunication? Did he expect his tight end to sit down and he just didn't? I can't tell if that's injury related or communication related, to be honest. I'm still shaking my head over how the Falcons beat the Saints in New Orleans without a pass rush or a true number one receiver or a number one running back. Hail Matty Ice and Cordero Patterson. Damn straight. Matt played out of his mind, dude. Here we go. 3rd and 9. Let's see how Tua spins it. Yeah, that was wide. Can't tell how wide from this angle, but usually when the receiver doesn't even reach for it, that tells you that it wasn't close. Here we go. This is the angle I want. Let's see how far off he was. Can't tell. But no, Matty Ice played fantastic. That was one of the most impressive games I've seen from him in a very long time, considering the lack of support he had around him. That was not a good ball. He didn't hit him in stride. Well, I think it depends because on outbreaking routes, short of the sticks, and this is something I talked to multiple quarterbacks about. Sometimes they'll want to put it back shoulder to, if it's short of the sticks, I should say, they'll want to put it back shoulder to give kind of depends on how far off the corner is and everything like that. But they want to give the receiver a chance to stop his momentum and then keep going up the field. So it's possible he intended to not lead him out of bounds by giving him an opportunity to stop and keep running. So I don't know for sure, but I've talked to a lot of quarterbacks that like to do that against corners that are 7 to 8 yards off with a guy with Waddle's skill set where you could just put it back shoulder and turn him and let him go rather than just running him out of bounds for a 6-yard gain. It depends. I guess we define in stride differently. My Gesicki getting blanketed tonight. Yeah, it tells you who they're scared of. Tells you that no Parker, no Fuller, and a rookie Waddle, the only established threat on the field is Gesicki. That's who they're scared of. Why do you think Trey Sermon isn't living up to his hype? Shanahan loves Eli Mitchell. That's really what it comes down to. Shanahan feels like with Eli Mitchell's speed, he gives them a more dynamic threat to the edge, even though Sermon is a better runner in between the tackles. He would rather have the guy with dynamic speed that he thinks he can turn into an adequate runner in between the tackles, rather than the guy who's a really good runner between the tackles that doesn't have as dynamic an element on the edge. So it's like he's favoring the guy that has the potential to break a big play rather than the guy who might be more consistent from carry to carry, which is not how he's done things in the past with guys like Alfred Morris, who was a very consistent guy from carry to carry, but not necessarily as dynamic. It's kind of a switch in attitude, I would say, in terms of personnel usage. So it's weird to me, but he's going to do what he's going to do. Like, if they're not going to use Trey Sermon, I'd rather than just trade him to a team that will. Like Miami. Actually, Baltimore would be great. Trey Sermon would be awesome in Baltimore. All right, check down to Freeman for 9. Please tell me what's wrong with Mahomes. It's not necessarily a Mahomes problem. It's a whole team problem. The tackles aren't pass protecting. Kelsey's getting mugged, and he's not getting off press coverage like he used to. Tyreek is getting doubled to death, and they don't have any other receivers out wide that can do anything with those one-on-one opportunities. And the defense was putting them into pretty bad holes early on in the year. Oh, huge tackle for loss on Freeman. Massive tackle for loss. Who got him? 92. Yeesh. All right. So they were playing in 5:05. Who let him through? Oh, they just didn't even block him. Another miscommunication up front. It's been happening a lot tonight. 3rd and 6. 3rd and Bateman, I should say. Picks up another one on a slant. Look what happens when you don't call screens and you let your guys run past the sticks. How about that? You have an MVP caliber quarterback and a really good young receiver. Who knew they could connect on a slant? Don't forget Shanahan did that with Freeman. Yeah, you're right. He prioritized the more consistent guy with Freeman and then used Tevin Coleman, who's the more edge explosive threat as they change of pace back. He's kind of doing it the opposite way in San Francisco. That's a good note. Oh, another sack on Lamar. Almost fumbled it too. Pressure's getting there. These miscommunications up front are just killing Baltimore. Killing them. Yeah, Van Ginkel just came through completely free. Ugh. Not Greg Roman's best night. All right, 2nd and 17. I don't think I see a post safety. It might be a zero look here, but the camera's not very wide. And they're running into 7 guys on the line of scrimmage for a yard on 2nd and 17. What? Somebody explain Greg Roman to me. Like, what is this game plan? They were doing... Oh, I'm going to not say something I'll regret. Wow. All right, 3rd and 16. More pressure. Lamar running for his life for 3 yards. Yeah. I'm not liking this, chat. I'm not liking this at all. What's Lamar's stats tonight? I'm like genuinely curious. 12 of 18 for 100 yards, sacked 3 times. Devonta Freeman, 3.1 a carry. Oh no. I mean, shit. Jacoby Brissett and Lamar have almost identical stat lines on like a per throw basis. That's insane. Like, the Miami staff's calling a good game, but Greg Roman is not even remotely close to calling a good game. Like the screens, the 2nd and 17 run, 10 targets for Hollywood. I don't necessarily mind that because most of them are on screens. So it's like artificial targets. But I would like more targets to go to Bateman, and I would like more targets to go to Andrews, guys that we know can work down the field against like tight press coverage when that's all you're getting tonight. I like to see something down the field. Oh God. What a shit game plan. Thoughts on OBJ's dad's video, fact or fiction? I think Odell's dad needs to make a Greg Roman video tonight. See if he can get him up out of Baltimore too. You heard it here first. Greg Roman to the Rams. Mahmoud for $5. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I would call Greg Roman to my office and ask him to explain this BS performance after a solid defensive game plan. More than solid defensive game plan. I mean, they've held him to 6 points. That's great. Defense is doing his job. Offense has been horrendous. Played so far below their talent level. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Harbaugh's definitely going to have words with Greg on the plane. Win or lose, he's going to have words with Greg on the plane. Like, buddy. Like, I know you got a lot of flack for just calling mesh at 4 verts, but go back to that if you need to. God. All right, 1st and 10 for Tua. See how he does. It got there, I guess, for a 1-yard gain. He was under pressure. Didn't look great, but it got there. Whoa, Jacoby Brissett's running on the sideline? What? How much Toradol did they shoot him up with? Good God. At this point, it's like, how much do they not like Tua that they're going to put Jacoby Brissett back in this game after howling in pain holding his knee? Like, which one of these is more medical malpractice? Oy. Thursday games are a mistake. Teams always look sluggish, not enough rest. I agree. It's a terrible product overall. These Thursday games are rarely as good as a Sunday or a Monday game. But, money. That's what the league cares about. Not health, not quality games. They care about money, and they're making a lot of money. All right, 3rd and 3 for Tua. And yeah, this is not looking ideal, chat. All right, kind of makes a little bit more sense why he wasn't starting. Oh, he hit his hand too. Oh, that probably didn't feel good. So here's my question. So, okay, so he has a broken middle finger. Like, that's clearly affecting him throwing. I get that. But you're suiting him up as a backup when, if he's not healthy enough to throw as a starter, you have to take into account the possibility of your new starter getting hurt. So why not make an effort to bring in somebody else to back up Jacoby Brissett? Like, if you don't think he can throw, don't activate him. Get somebody else. Like, what's the point here? Because, like, clearly he's struggling. Like, the ball's not coming out right. Like, it came out on the first pass, it came out right, and that was it. Every throw after that looked wonky. So if he can't throw, why activate him? Why not have a different backup? Like, because now you're in a nightmare scenario where your starter got hurt and you're putting in a guy who can't throw anyway, who you didn't want on the field anyway. So it's like, what? Am I wrong? This is the worst football game since Ben DiNucci. Yeah, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something there. Okay. Yeah. What's crazy is going into this game, Miami was like 19th or 20th in run defense DVOA. Like, I thought Baltimore was going to absolutely fucking annihilate them on the ground. Like, statistically, this was not a good run defense. And they're murdering them on the ground. Murdering them. It's the NFL, man. You never know what you're going to get. Second and 9. Lamar converting to Andrews, as per usual. Looks like a penalty here. False start? Oh, man. Lamar just straight up sidearmed it. Submarine that ball to Andrews. Oh, they're stopping for review of the catch. That looked like a catch to me. I think he got his arm under. Maybe. Let me see the second angle. Yeah, I think he got it. Looked good to me. Guy with no vowels for $2. If we lose to Miami with a quarterback punter, fire Roman. Oh, man. I don't know if they'll fire him, but at the very least, I would want Harbaugh just reaming the shit out of him in his office, saying, what kind of game plan was that? Because this was just not. I understand it's a short week, but come on. At least make an in-game adjustment. Good night from Parthasai. This game is too bad. We're not even out of the third quarter, bud. I got a long way to go. I got a long way to go. Unfortunately for me. Like Bills Jags last week. Bills Jags was a different kind of unwatchable because that just was penalty after penalty after penalty. You know, there's 21 flags in that Bills Jags game. I think 20 of them were accepted, but there was 21 flags thrown. Can you imagine that? So like one out of, on average, every 5 to 6 plays, there's a stoppage to hear a referee talk. Every 5 to 6 plays. Can you imagine that kind of hell? That is what made that game unwatchable. Nobody could ever get into a rhythm because of how often the refs were interjecting themselves into that game. What's the record for fewest explosive plays in a game? I don't know if we had a single 20-plus yard play? I don't know if we have. Because Duvernay went for 19. Let's look. How about that? Yeah, I don't think that we've had a single explosive play in this whole damn game. Oh, there was the Isaiah Ford one. That was it. So there's one. No, two, because Shaheen got one as well. 2 explosive plays in an entire football game. Are you kidding me? No wonder it's felt so unwatchable. Good Lord. All right. Again, Ravens and double mug look, 7 on the line of scrimmage. No, 8 on the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9. They're coming after. Oh, my God. They were showing it to you. They were showing you they were coming after you pre-snap. How do you not have a plan? They could have held up a fucking neon sign saying, hey, this is 0. How do you not have a plan? How do you just let Holland come off the edge and not have a plan? It's not hard. Screen, throw hot, block it up, and throw deep. That's the 3 ways to beat 0. How do you do none of them? I mean, come on. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand, chat. I'm not saying that I could coach in the NFL. I'm not smart enough to coach in the NFL. But there's some NFL coaches that I wonder if they're smart enough to coach in the NFL. At least I acknowledge that I'm not good at it. I mean, what the fuck? Why are we on ESPN? Because I can't show the game. So I just leave the game cast up so you can see where I'm at in terms of like what I'm watching. Because what the fuck was that? I mean, it worked. But what? A flea flicker check down? What? Okay. All right. It's a Thursday game. It's a Thursday game. Okay, here's my yards from Gaskin. That's what I needed, boys. That's what I needed. Top 10 quarterbacks, is Joey top 10? So Lamar's up there, Stafford's up there, Aaron's up there, Kyler's up there, Allen's up there, Mahomes is up there. That's 6. Russell's up there. That's 7. Brady, obviously. It's 8. Dak, obviously. That's 9. Who am I missing? I have to be missing somebody, right? Maybe Kirk. I don't know if I'd say Baker. Maybe Matt Ryan. He's in that like solid group where it's like somewhere between 10 and like 14, where there's a whole bunch of guys that you could argue. Ooh, big ball in the deep 7 to Waddle. Where like you could argue that he's like that 10th spot, but I listed 9 guys that I absolutely would take over him right now. So at best, he's 10. See how that came out of his hand. Was that a wobbler? They didn't show the ball. It got there. I'll give him credit for that. How often do you do this? Whenever I can. I mean, I was traveling for a while, so I didn't get to do it on those weeks. And then one of the Thursdays was my anniversary with my wife, so I didn't do it that week either. But ideally, I'm going to keep doing this every Thursday. I know I'm for sure doing it next Thursday as well, which is, what is our Thursday game next Thursday? It is Falcons Patriots. It'll probably be better than this one, right? God willing. But I'll be doing this game or that game as well. The Cordero Patterson revenge game. Why not stream on Twitch where you can show the game on stream? Can I? Is that accurate? Chat, if I can show the game on Twitch legally, please let me know. Because I will do that in a heartbeat. 100%. I will do that in a heartbeat. Like, starting next week, I will. Like, I would do that every Thursday. If I would do that for the playoffs, like 100%. Not even kidding. Not even a question. The Colorado Avalanche have scored as much as the Dolphins tonight, which means they've scored twice as much as the Ravens. Be honest with me. Could you see the Falcons making the playoffs if they lose to the Cowboys? Or wait, if they lose to the Cowboys and Patriots? Well, that would put them at 4-6. They would have to win every other game for the rest of the season. It would be tough. They got to beat the Patriots at least. Because Cowboys is going to be a tall order. Patriots, I think, is doable. Still not easy, though. Because, again, it's a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks sometimes have off weeks. But Dallas coming off a loss with how talented they are, that's going to be a harder one to get than I think the Patriots game is. But they got to at least win one of them, or else they are literally on no margin for error the rest of the year. All right, 1st and 10 from the 35. And we got an end around to Wilson. Gets 12. Whatever you can get, or whatever you can do to get yards, you got to do it at this point. What were your thoughts on Justin Fields on Monday night? He was phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal. Stellar as a deep ball thrower. He's been one of the best deep ball throwers in the league since week 4. The mobility is obviously great, but the decision-making was great. Again, when the offensive line gives him time, he's a very deadly quarterback. He was very close, were it not for some really shitty officiating. and Jimmy Graham dropping a fade in the end zone. He was very close to putting up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns on the road in primetime in Pittsburgh against a very good defense. That's really hard to do as a rookie. So he was spectacular. He was not the reason they lost. Have you ever worked for an NFL team? Would you like to? No, but I did work for the league in their media arm. I was at NFL Network for 5 years, so I worked on the media side, but I have not worked for a team individually. If a team wanted me to work for them, I'd be absolutely interested. But it would depend on what capacity, because I am painfully aware that I am not smart enough to do a lot of things in the NFL. If I was like a scouting assistant, I think I could do that. But that's about it. I think everything else is a little over my head. Like I know some analytics and contract people in the league, and like when they talk about everything that they have to do, my brain shuts off. Like it's so much more than I ever imagined. PI in the end zone, is that what they're calling on Averett, or is that on Marlin? It's kind of a ticky tack PI call. Like he was hooked, but Waddle had his hands on him as well. He turned his head to look for the ball. His eyes were on it the whole time. I don't think I would call PI on that. It's kind of a yeah, I'm not down for that call. Okay, I need permission to stream it on Twitch. Okay, I'm going to look into that. One massive streamer has the rights to, others don't. Monday night you can, but Thursday you can't. But I thought Thursday was on Amazon. All right, I'm going to do some Googling after this. I'm going to figure out what I can do. Oh, who went up and got that? Is that Tavon Young? No. It's like some Dikembe Mutombo shit. That's a great play. Oh my god. That's an awesome play. All right, you'd have to get permission from the league to do so. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna reach out to some people. Cause like I still like well, I don't know if they work in that side of things, but like I used to work on Thursday Night Football when I was at NFL Network. Like assuming it's the same producers, I can send a couple emails and just see what's possible. But like I used to like by the way, fun fact, the budget for one production of one of these games, at least back in the day when I worked on it, was $2 million for one broadcast. And that's still a fraction of what they spend on Sunday night. Sunday Night Football is like 8 or 9 million per game. It's pretty crazy how much networks spend to broadcast one football game. But yeah, I used to work TNF. I also did game day morning. I was in the red zone control room for 3 years. I did total access. What other shows did I do? Patch the Draft, Combine, Prep. Fuck, I don't know. You name the show, I did it. But this was one of my babies. Way back in the day. This was, God, almost 10 years ago now. So I don't know. I'll do some Googling. I'll send some emails. I'll see what I can do. There's literally people streaming the game on Twitch right now. Yeah, but are they doing it? Like, are they allowed to? That's the question. Because I don't want to get my Twitch shut down. Because then that helps nobody. A screen to a fat man. Yo! What the fuck? What the fuck? Was that intentional? Bro. You got in! Please tell me that's legal. What the fuck? Dude, he got air. What? That's like the greatest play I've ever seen in my life. That immediately made this game worth it. Like, entirely. No, they're calling illegal touching. Just let him have it. Come on. Just let him have it. I don't give a shit. For a second, I thought it was like a screen to a tackle on tackle eligible. I thought they meant to do that. I'm fucking dying. That's the greatest play in NFL history that got called back. Yeah, that made the game worth it. I don't even care. We sat through so much to get here, but we made it. All right, Tua with the fade. Out of bounds. All right, but yeah, back on topic. I'm gonna do some googling because I don't want to get my Twitch deleted. Like, but if I can make it happen, I'm gonna make it happen, guys. I promise you. I just have to do it legally, or else the league will come after me. And again, I used to work for them, so they know who I am. And they'll also go after my YouTube too. It won't just be limited to Twitch. So I need to be smart, do it by the book. One day it will happen, but it's going to have to be the right way. Unfortunately, I'm not some like super small incognito channel anymore. Like, the league watches my shit and they ad claim my videos because I'm a revenue source for them. So that's my way of saying they won't let me stream unless they're getting their cut. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen, but I will find a way. But that's how the business works. A tackle eligible screen does sound like it would rip. Oh, dude, I love it. That would be like, honestly, some offensive coordinator just watch that play and they're going to design one that's legal. I guarantee you. Sean McVay is sitting in his office right now, laughing his ass off, drawing up something that's legal that will work. It will work. Should put some gore at the end of your videos so the league doesn't make any money on them either. Yeah, I'm sure they're pissed that I cost both them and me $30,000 with that Jaws theme on the Tevin Jenkins video. Now nobody gets paid except for John Williams. He's rolling in dough. Not that he needs the money. They claim everybody to be honest. Yes, but mine are manual claims. Mine are not algorithmic claims because I use footage that doesn't show up with their auto algorithm flagging shit. They go on my channel manually to claim my videos because mine doesn't show up on the auto tagger. So they know me and I know them, which is fine. That's why I do sponsors. That's why I do Patreon, because like the actual Google ad revenue, I don't really get. Like that's why every video is sponsored, because that's the only way that I like pay my mortgage. Because like I don't get consistent Google ad revenue pretty much ever. And don't even get me started on college tape. Like that gets flagged by, and auto or not auto manually claimed by the XOS and all the people that own college tape too. So pretty much the only video that I've put out that was like 100% my footage that I shot and, music that I licensed and everything like that so that I would get all the ad revenue is the Vegas video that I put out last week. But I made sure that I used stuff that absolutely would not get claimed because I wanted that to get ad revenue, because all that ad revenue is going to Trevor Project. So that's why I did it the way that I did. But on like my normal film room episode, like the one that I'm putting out tomorrow, guarantee you that's going to get claimed. Guarantee you. Because the NFL Network used the same all 22 clips that I'm using when they were doing Baldy breakdowns. So it's going to get auto flagged anyway, which is fine. Like I don't care. But that's why I rely on HelloFresh to sponsor that episode so that I still make a living. Kind of a little peek behind the curtain of how YouTuber income works. I need like I need like 8 income sources, because like the main quote unquote main one, at least the one you would think would be the main one, isn't actually one for me. There's a lot of YouTubers that only rely on Google ad revenue, but in my niche, that's just not possible. Hollywood got vertical on Xavier, and ball was not catchable. John Williams owes all his money to Gustav Holst anyway. Man, we got some movie composer hot takes in the chat tonight, people. That was not his fucking refrain. All right, Lamar, let's see what you got. Oh, looked like Hollywood slipped on the route. That sucks. Field seemed the surfaces seem kind of loose down in Miami tonight. Guys are slipping all over the place. Oh no, he didn't slip. In real speed, I thought he did, but just went off his hands. Here we go. Duvernay with another sweep. And that one looked like it got dropped for a loss. This game might legitimately end 9-3 or 9-6. Whatever the number is at this point. Ravens have 10 passing yards this half. Oh, my Lord. How is that even possible in this day and age? Oh, no, fumble. Oh, no. Oh, no. And it's returned for oh, no. Oh. That's a fucking dagger. Oh, no. And it was Sammy Watkins. So Xavier stripped it, recovered it, returned it, all for a touchdown. What a play. Oh, my Lord, what a play. Dude, Vegas is making a lot of money tonight. A lot of money tonight. I mean, I'm trying to think of like what lessons we've learned here tonight that it's like, because it's not like you can, every team can walk out of this saying, oh, you just call blitz 0 against the Ravens. Like, no, that's not a viable defensive strategy to just call 0 over and over again. Most teams don't do that philosophically. It's like, what? I don't even know what other lessons I could take away from this other than Baltimore's got communication issues like crazy up front. And Miami's just exploiting that like every other play. And they're going for 2 to make it a 14-point game. You got Gesicki. Nope. You don't have Gesicki. So it's what, 15-3, 12-point game, 11 minutes to go. I mean, we've seen Baltimore come back from worse, but I'm not exactly encouraged by their offensive performance tonight. Ugh, what an ugly ass game. And if you're a Ravens fan, I mean, I don't blame you if you just turn this thing off at this point. It's just bad for your mental health. Once you use one source of claimed media, no reason not to use more for that sweet copyright deadlock. Yeah, but then some companies get petty, and then they'll file a takedown notice because then if they're not getting paid, they don't want anybody to get paid, which is annoying. You need at least one revenue stream to cover the whiskey budget. What do you think the Patreon pays for? Actually, I need to get. I have like one shot left of Pendleton Midnight, one of my favorite Canadian whiskeys. And then, actually, hold on. I swear this looks a lot worse than it is. But also, I have a Glenmorangie Nectar Dior by my desk, and I have a cast strength bourbon from Woodinville by my desk. Man, and there's a Jameson over there. And I got a Basil Hayden over there. And then I got another Virginia Distillery Company. Okay, so I have 6 bottles of whiskey within 7 feet of my desk. I promise it looks worse than it is. That's just laziness for me not taking it down to the bar after I do podcasts. I promise I'm not sitting here drinking them all day. Just most of the day. Lamar down 2 scores in the 4th. This is where he's best, at least this year. Yeah. They've come back from what, like 3 14-point deficits already this year? Which is crazy. I don't think anybody else in the NFL has done that this year. I'm really happy I didn't submit this game on BetSperts because I definitely would not have won. I don't know if you guys follow me on BetSperts, by the way. That's the app that I use for tracking my picks against the spread every week. It's free, by the way. You don't have to pay anything. But on my BetSperts profile, which is at Brett Coleman, you see all my picks against the spread every single week. You see my over-under picks, and you can track how terribly and or not terrible that I do from week to week. Oh, who's hurt? 86? I think Gesicki's not 86, right? He's 88? I hope that's not Gesicki. Yeah, Gesicki's 88. 86 is Mac Hollins. That's unfortunate. He didn't look like he was doing too good. Bateman over, what was I thinking? Dude, you and me both. I needed 40 yards for him to hit the over. Look at this. Look at where we're at. Mike Gesicki has no catches. No catches. Bateman's got 16. You know how many people I told in the pregame to start Bateman tonight over Waddle? Because I was like, oh, they're going to bracket Waddle. He's going to get nothing. Go Bateman. Look at this shit. 4 for 61. Doesn't seem like it's great. But you know what is better than? 2 for 16. I'm sure everybody that I told to start Bateman tonight would kill for 4 for 61. The NFL, man. The NFL. It's just it's a guessing game. Like everything makes sense until it doesn't. That's what this league is. Four of the Ravens' 6 wins have come in games where they've reached a win probability of less than 15% in the second half. That's stunning. Like there's no way anybody else has ever done that, right? That's amazing. Also, I'm sure there's a lot of people in Vegas that hit a prop for first touchdown being a defensive player that are losing their mind. Because the odds of that must have been insane. Lamar better cuss out Roman tomorrow. Lamar better cuss out Roman during the game. I know that's not the kind of guy he is, but I'd go up to Greg right now and say, dude, we got to do something. Nectar of the Gods, Man of Culture. I'm assuming you're talking about the Glenn Morangi, Nectar Dior, which this was sent to me by a subscriber. Still one of the best gifts I've ever received. Lamar, carry for 12. Because he's like, I wanted to be a patron, but I decided that I wanted to do this instead and spend the money that way. And I was like, well, good, because that's probably what I would have spent it on anyway. It was very nice of him to do that. And I pretty much only drink it for either the podcast or film room because he gave it to me as a subscriber. So I only drink it on camera. What's your favorite region when it comes to whiskey? Like for Scotch, Isla. I like the smoky stuff that makes me hurt. No, I love Isla Scotch. Lagavulin, Lefroy, Brooklyn. I've got more bottles of all that than I can count. Especially now when the temperature drops, you get to fall, get to winter, that smoky Scotch just warms you right up. It's an acquired taste, though. I acknowledge that. A lot of people hate Islas, but I love them. I think the content just can't leave the platform and the VOD gets deleted afterwards. Maybe Bengal would know. Oh, that's a good point. I'll ask Bengal. He knows a lot about streaming. I'll ask him. And I'll ask Tom Grassi. I think Tom Grassi does Thursday night streams, right? The Patcast. I'll ask him because I think he does that. If anybody knows Tom Grassi, let me know because I've never actually talked to him before, so I don't even know if he knows who I am. But I'd love to chat with him about it because I'd love to find a way to do this. All right, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. I have zero faith that they're going to convert this. Like zero. Negative faith. Ardbeg is good shit. I just polished off an Oogie not too long ago, actually. And I used to have an Ardbeg 10, but also finished that. Here's more pressure. Oh, and he dropped it. Like I said, I have zero faith in them converting. Oh, no. I mean, it's a low ball, but again, they brought another blitz. I think they got Holland free off the edge again. They tried to beat it with a screen. Lamar just couldn't get it to him accurately under pressure. It's catchable ball. Should have caught it, but even if he did catch it, it was at such a weird angle that I don't know if he would have been able to convert anyway. Grossi doesn't show it, though, I believe. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no visual or audio. Does he do it on Twitch or YouTube? Probably on YouTube, I would imagine. If it's on Twitch, you can restream it on Twitch, and they're okay with that. Not 100% sure NFL behaves the same, though. Okay. A lot of Googling in my future. Little slide route to the flat. Another big play for the Dolphins. There's an explosive play. We're up to like 4, I think. Nick Merckx is streaming the game, and he's a huge streamer. Yeah, but if he has Twitch or Amazon negotiating that on his behalf because he's a partner, I'm not a partner. So it just depends on who he has in his corner and what they're making. If he's doing it illegally, I mean, good luck to him. Oh, God, Tua. Sack fumble. Oh, no. And Miami got it back. Oh, man, Baltimore almost had that ball. Who got him? Is that Oa? Who's 6? Oh, it was Patrick Queen. There's a lot of teams where I know the numbers for a lot of the for the Ravens. I do not know a lot of their numbers. I know Lamar. I know Chuck Clark. I know Calais, but I don't have a whole lot of their numbers memorized. How the hell is Watkins and Duvernay playing over Bateman? I don't know. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Out of curiosity and refusing to answer is acceptable. What does your wife do while you're in here for hours watching the games with chat? Well, I don't even think she got home from work till like an hour ago because she works for Makita Power Tool Company. And she's getting ready for a trade show out in Vegas. So she was working late tonight anyway. And then next week she'll still be in Vegas for that trade show. So she'll be on the road doing something while I do this. It's funny because I watch football for a living and she still has a manlier job than me. Because she works power tools all day. And like goes to construction sites and shit. Here we go. 4th and 1. Trying to put the dagger in the heart right now. Are they trying to get it? Yeah, they're trying to get him to jump. His one crazy play a game. That's true. Patrick Queen does make like one nutso play every game, and then you never really hear from him again. It's pretty funny. Sean Skokin for $1. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. Every dollar counts. All right, big punt. I think that's going to pin him. Yeah, right at the 1. Hell of a punt. Makita, I'm super jealous of your tool. Dude, you should see our garage. At one point, when we cleared it out recently, we had, I can't even count how many chainsaws and trimmers and mowers, and we probably had like $30,000 or $40,000 worth of like landscaping machinery in our garage that she needed for testing and everything that she does for her job. I mean, literally, like probably like 10 chainsaws. Nobody needs 10 chainsaws, but we had them. All right, Lamar, get him off the goal line. And he fell. Okay. Flag, though. Hope it wasn't a call in the end zone because I'm pretty sure that's a safety. If I'm Miami, I'm just bringing pressure because if I can get a safety, that would make it a 14-point game. Actually, no, I don't know if I would bring pressure because it's still a 2-possession game anyway. Just in case they break one. If anything, I might actually play soft on this drive and just make them take 10 to 12 plays to do it and just drain clock. Maybe that's what I would do, is just not blitz at all this drive. Sean for $5. Thank you, Sean. Literally any collaboration with Strong Opinion Sports or Tom Grassi would make my week. I've been meaning to get together and do something with Zach actually lately. Oh, God, they almost got him in the end zone, and he threw it away. Oh, God, that was almost a game ender. No, I went on Zach's show a couple times last season. I haven't been on this season. I'm probably due to go back on, but I love that guy. He's a really good dude. Come back to Cleveland any day, and I'll send you a local beer pack. You know, when I was there, I saw, oh, God, Lamar's ribs got crushed. Wait, but isn't that landing with weight on the quarterback? Isn't that... Did they call it? Did they call roughing the passer? I think they did. It's 1st and 10, right? Yeah, I think they called it. Good. But yeah, no, I saw there was a lot of microbreweries in Cleveland while I was there. I just was only there for like 4 days, so I didn't get a chance to go to more than 2 of them. But it's a pretty good beer scene out there. Yeah, they called it. Good. It's hard to watch a game with no audio where you don't hear penalties and stuff. Get out of bounds. Oh, my God. Get out of bounds. You're a foot away. The Ravens deserve to lose. I'm sorry. They do. They're making so many stupid fucking mistakes. Get out of bounds. You got the 6 yards. God. There goes Lamar. Oh, God, he fumbled. No. Oh. Did they call him down? Okay, he was down. Jesus. Wait, they called roughing the passer. What? How'd they get a first down? Or was he past the marker? I don't know. I didn't see where the marker was on the replay. Have you been to Paul Brown Stadium? It's fun but older. I have not been to Cincinnati, but I got friends out in Cincy. The dude's over at PFF because PFF is based in Cincy, so I was planning on going out there and getting dinner with them, catching a game. Did they call that hit from Holland roughing the passer? Is that what you guys are talking about? I mean, I get it, but also kind of ticky-tack. Okay. But no, I have not been to Cincinnati, but I plan to at some point in the next couple years to go catch a game out there and see my buddies. Soon. Very soon. Refs giving the Ravens some life. I mean, like, I get why they called it. I don't know if I would have, but I get why they did. There goes Devonta, another 6 yards. They got to go. They're not operating with enough pace. They got to go. You don't have time to huddle. You got 5 minutes left. Come on. All right, 3rd and 3. They're coming again. Another flag? They calling hold on Hollywood? Yeah, Lamar signaling first down. Okay, yeah, that's a hold. I could see that. Yeah, they're going to call that every time. Brett, please watch the game. I'm trying. I'm trying to balance chat and watching the game. I promise. There we go. 1st and 10. Again, it's like the third 1st and 10 they've got off penalties, if not the fourth in this drive alone. From the 25, they need a strike, a stop, and then another drive. Oh, go. No. Okay, you got down to the 5, but you got to go. You got to go. No huddle. You need to have, like, this is a situation where you need to have a low red zone call on a one-word tag. So if you're in a no huddle situation, it seems like they are. Lamar's got a one-word tag for a low red zone play that they installed this week where they can just go. Got it. There you go. See, that's how you operate in no huddle. You get a big play. Usually a team's going to have like 7 to 8 calls that they're going to have on a one-word tag. So you can just run up to the line of scrimmage and say, like, pound cake, whatever the fuck your word is. And everybody knows formation, they know the concept, and you can run it regardless of personnel grouping because you never know when you're going to need it. Again, you have 7 to 8 of those. And it's a concept that, they have in the playbook, but it's something where they feel good about it. They'll assign a one-word tag to it. So if they get into that situation where they don't want to let a defense reset, get, collected or whatever in a low red zone situation, you run up to the line of scrimmage, you're saying that word, everybody gets set, you run the play in like 9 seconds, defense doesn't know what they're doing, they just barely got their call in, and you get situations like that where Andrews is running free for a touchdown. That is how you run an offense. Hopefully that explanation was good for you guys on how teams install for a individual game, but that's what they did there. They had the one word tag. We really don't deserve to win this game. Define deserve. As far as I'm concerned, like, Dolphins have 2 injured quarterbacks. And like they got a defensive touchdown that if without that strip fumble return, they'd be losing right now anyway. So I don't think either team deserves to win. But here we are. The Ravens get 1 stop. They got 3 timeouts. Even if they hold them to a field goal, they got 3 timeouts. It's still a 1 possession game. Brett, is your hoodie the one from the Viking? No, this is actually my Ravens hoodie. If you'll recognize the Mile High Miracle. Here's Jacoby Jones running past the Denver secondary. And then I got the play call on the sleeve, which I guess you can't see. It's upside down. Here we go. So this is the play call on the sleeve for the Mile High Miracle. And then on the back, I have the call from the announcers. So that's my Ravens hoodie. The Vikings one is similar. That one's for the Minneapolis Miracle. And coming soon for the holiday season, I'm still working on them right now. I'm trying to get as many hoodies done and designed for the holiday season as I can for all the teams that I haven't done one yet. I did the Hail Murray. I did like Haas Juke for the Patriots. I want to do a new one for the Raiders. There we go. 2nd and 10 for Tua. Oh my God. Oh no. Another blown coverage. Oh no. Oh no. Was that Averett again? Oh no. They just let him go. Nobody was picking up the rail? What the hell? I'm kind of wondering if you just let him score. Or if this flag is on Miami, that would push him back from the 2-yard line. If this flag is on Miami, now you start burning timeouts and try to hold them to a field goal. And then if you can strategically, who are they calling it on? Hold on. I'm going to unmute it for a second so I can hear this call. 12 men on defense? Is that what they're calling? Oh, that's brutal. God, how do you bust that coverage? No play? Is that what they're calling? See, as long as first down, fine, whatever. I need to see what yard it's on. Because if it's okay, so it's from the 5. You got 3 timeouts. I have to imagine you're just playing man and you are screaming downhill against the run and taking your chance in man because you need to get a TFL. You need to hold them. And then you're just ripping through timeouts to keep it on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Play man, come downhill. No safety help for anybody. All hands on all hands on deck in the run fit. Oh, well, this game turned into mildly entertaining in the fourth quarter. First 3 quarters I could do without, though. Music City Miracle hoodie. Trust me, it's on the way. Promise you. That's going to be the Titans play. I thought about trolling you and doing Kevin Dyson, but thought against it. Decided to do Music City Miracle instead. I also could have done that crazy Marcus Mariota touchdown against the Chiefs in the playoffs, but I felt like Music City Miracle was more recognizable. All right, here we go. 2nd and 4 from the 5. From the pistol. Oh no, false start. Ooh, that changes things. That changes things. 37 seconds. You're going to be from the 10. Clock is stopped. I have to imagine there's going to be a run, but there's going to be a tag for a pass if they get the right look. Okay, he's short. Timeout. There we go. He called it. Oh man, it's going to come down to like 3rd and 1. Oh man, this is tough. So if you're Miami, do you run the ball or do you pass it with Tua with a broken finger? Because if you run it, at worst, you're getting a field goal. You make it an 8-point game. You force them to burn their last time out. Or potentially the Ravens, I don't know if they're going to want to run it down to the 2-minute warning. They'll probably burn their last time out. So then they'll be on the other side of the 2-minute warning. So they get at least one stoppage. Man, I almost might. Do you run it twice and go for it? That's what I want to know. I think I might run it twice and go for it. I mean, fuck it. You're 2-7, right? I think he's in. No, he converted. That's pretty much ball game right there, right? There's only one stoppage left and you're on the 6-inch line. That's probably ball game. What a run by Gaskin. Clutching that out, moving the chains. For the Carolina sweatshirt, a good one is the 2015 Carolina Seahawks game. Cam to Olsen TD in the fourth to win the game. I was either thinking that or X-Clown from Steve Smith. I miss Albert Wilson on the Chiefs. I'm sure the Chiefs miss Albert Wilson too. If the Giants were to fire Joe Judge and Jason Garrett, who would you like to see come in and coach the Giants? Maybe someone from college. I can't really think of any college coaches that I think would be great for them right now. Like if they had, I don't even think I'd do Lincoln Riley. I don't know if that's a fit. I think they just scored, right? Yeah, that's a touchdown. This game's over. I mean, Dable is somebody I would consider for sure. Kellen Moore for sure. But again, I don't think Dallas is going to let him go to New York of all places. They would just rather hire him himself. This will be an utterly embarrassing loss for the Ravens. Just goes to show, man, the AFC is a shit show. Like, you got the Jets beating the Titans. You got the Ravens beating the hell out of the Bengals and then losing to the Dolphins. Like, nothing makes sense in this conference, dude. Nothing makes sense. You got the Jags beating the Bills. Like, that's the theme of the year for the AFC. Is like, nothing makes sense. The standings are a lie. It's the only thing we know for sure. Jay Wash for $5. Thank you, sir. Hey, Brett, any chance for a Bengals film room hoodie soon? Absolutely. My question for you is, if you're a Bengals fan, what play would you want? I was actually struggling to figure out what play for the Bengals made the most sense for a hoodie. Other than like, I was thinking Andy Dalton to Tyler Boyd to knock the Ravens out of the playoffs a few years ago. Not that it's like a legendary play in Bengals lore, but it fucked the Ravens over. And I think Bengals fans enjoy that. So I was thinking that one, but I'm open to suggestions. Can we get hoodies for defensive plays? Yeah, the Tampa one. I'm going to be doing Tampa 2. I'm going to be doing a cover 3 for a Seahawks hoodie. The Bears hoodie is going to be a special teams play. It's going to be the Hester return in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a fair representation of defense. What play would you do for Jax? Ooh, that's good. That's a good question. The Hail Mary versus the Texans from David Garrard, I think, would be up there, right? That's what jumps to my mind, at least. Maybe like one of the great MJD runs. Derrick Henry, 99 yards. Which time? Probably the one against Jacksonville, right? Where he stiff-armed Ramsey into the next dimension. Can the Rams get the non-PI call against the Saints? Do you have a hoodie for the Chiefs? I do. It's Wasp. It's the Wasp hoodie. Let me pull it up, actually. So on brettcoleman.com. I don't like advertise my merch probably as much as I should. I'm like terrible YouTuber. But I have the Antoine Winfield peace sign to Tyreek that my buddy designed for Tampa. I have a Jet shirt. I have the Hail Murray. That's the Raiders hoodie I'm going to replace for obvious reasons. I have Hosswide Juke for Gronk's game winner in the Super Bowl over the Rams. I have Santonio Holmes touchdown in yellow and in black. I have the Mile High Miracle. I have the NFC Championship game winner from the Seahawks to Javon Curse. I have Wasp, which is that Chiefs hoodie. I have Minneapolis Miracle. I have the Lambo or the Lombardi Sweep. And then I have the blanking on the name. Antonio Freeman catch for the Packers. So I'm going to be doing one of those for every single team, and I'm working on designs for the holiday season for all the rest of the teams that I don't have yet up on the website. I'll probably be running a sale as well. That'll be in like a couple weeks, I imagine. So don't you worry. More coming. But I already do have one for the Chiefs to answer your question. Goes to the Post hoodie. That's exactly what I was thinking for the Raiders. Either that or Holy Roller. Fun fact, my mother-in-law was at the Holy Roller game, by the way, as a youth. Saw that live and in person. Minute 30 on the clock. Ravens driving, but I mean, let's be honest, this game's donezo. Brett, if you make a hoodie with the 2019 Kittle dragging 3 Saints half the field with his one face mask on 4th down to set up the win, I will buy that first. It's a great play. The Niners are one of those teams that has like a million plays to choose from. A million. They're such a rich history. There's the catch. There's the catch 2. Bunch. Philly special hoodie. Yes, that is coming. And by the way, I found the bar from It's Always Sunny because they filmed that in the Arts District up in LA. That's why they call it It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because they film in LA. It's always sunny. There's the joke. But I found the bar or the location of Patty's Pub up in the Arts District in LA when I was walking around one day. And so I'm going to go do a photo shoot for the Philly special hoodie at the location for Patty's Pub, which I think is going to be fun. If anybody watches It's Always Sunny in here. How do you fix the Dolphins' offensive line this offseason? Draft more dudes. Not that it worked for them the last time they drafted a bunch of dudes, but they just got to keep doing it till they hit. Because it's been rough. Simpson front flip TD. That's not a bad idea. Ugh, almost had that to Freeman. Why not the Butler INT for New England? I felt like Hosswide Juke was easier to draw and recognize, so I went with that one instead. But I could still do the Butler interception. But I felt like Hosswide Juke was a little bit easier to visualize for my limited design skills. Real quick, if the AFC is a shit show, then what is the NFC? A shit gathering. A shit rehearsal. It's like, it's not quite as crazy, but it's still crazy. The Jacks play the 99-yard field goal return versus the Cards. That's also not a bad idea from Jamal Agnew. I think they still lost that game, though. A Fred Taylor run. Any of them, honestly. Cards hoodie has to be the crazy Larry Fitz play in OT versus the Packers. I thought about doing that one as well. But when I did the Hail Murray hoodie, it was like the week after that play happened. So I was like, I'll do that one instead. Simpson front flip TD. Oh, that's 2 Bengals fans. Oh, God, another pick. I mean, the game was already over, but now it's really over. Okay, I'll definitely look at doing the Simpson TD then. Double A gap mug for Minnesota. That's a good one. That's a good idea. If Zimmer survives the season. OG Hail Mary for Dallas. I was either going to do that or maybe like a Dez caught it type hoodie. But the OG Hail Mary, I think, would be a good one as well, since that's like the greatest play in Cowboys history. All right, there's the kneel down. Beastquake hoodie. Yeah, I felt like that was such low-hanging fruit, but I feel like I have to do that one too. Just because it's so iconic. Broncos. What would I do? Do I have a Broncos hoodie? I don't think I have a Broncos hoodie yet. What would I do for a Broncos hoodie? Maybe the DT touchdown versus Steelers from Tebow. I don't know. Would that piss off a lot of Broncos fans because they don't want to remember Tim Tebow? It's got to be something from Peyton, right? Or like a Terrell Davis run from like the 90s Broncos in that Super Bowl run. There's got to be a lot of options for the Broncos. I'll put in more thought to that. Plus, I have the Gary Kubiak playbook from that era, so it's very easy for me to then just like get the play call. Any ideas on a Lions hoodie? Very sad Lions fan. Love all the Lions hoodie's got to be the Megatron catch over like 4 dudes, right? Or like one of the Barry Sanders runs versus the Cowboys where he made like 8 dudes miss. That's what I'm thinking for Lions for sure. Dylan for $5. Love this game as a Steelers fan. I don't know what the issue is. Also buying a black toe tap for my dad for Christmas. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think he's going to love it. Especially like that's honestly one of my favorites is the toe tap hoodie. Cuz I remember watching that play live with my best friend who's a Steelers fan, just losing our fucking minds. I've also never seen a human being more stressed than that Super Bowl versus the Cardinals. Or the Harrison 100-yard pick six. Yeah, I could do that one too for the Steelers. They were both from the same game, and in the end I just picked the San Antonio Holmes one, but I could very easily do the Harrison pick six as well. Oh, the John Elway helicopter. That's a good one. That's a really good one. DT overtime TD in 2011. Okay, so maybe it's more acceptable than I thought to do that one. Oh, the CJ Anderson game winner versus the Patriots. That's a low-key good one, too. Whatever Barry Sanders' most iconic run, that should be the hoodie. I believe it, at least for Lions. It should either be a Barry Sanders run or a Megatron catch. One of those two, in my opinion. 2 best players in franchise history. It's got to be one of them, right? But with that being said, the game is now over, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe I'm all cut up on Super Chats, which means, unfortunately, it's time for me to say goodbye. I've been talking now for roughly 4 straight hours, but thank you, everybody, for showing up. I'll be back here next week, next Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern for another watch-along stream. If I can find a way to show the game on that one, I will. See if I can put that together in like a week. But regardless, I'll be back here at minimum next Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern. Hope you'll all join me again. And until then, I'll see you guys later.